All right, it is 1:05 a.m. on May 5th, 2021. I'm capturing a series of videos of what the state has been engaged in. I sat at the intersection documenting individual actors of the same group, the same actor, the people of the state, as I'm literally just taking minions by names, getting their license plate, and the state was engaging in this patrolling around. The state as right now, again, creating, again, has not gone anywhere, is now just merely surrounding and creating audible activity around me at the museum, alternating with planes. And as I capture in video, helicopter, then a plane, helicopter, helicopter again, which I captured on video. And this is the state creating plane activity. It's 1:06 a.m. The people of the state of California monitoring to this conduct, acting in concert with the entity that is focused on the Ontario Museum of History and Arts, because that is where I am located. This is the group stalking by the state, acting directly and acting vicariously in concert with the people of the state who maintain relevant positioning. It's 1:06 a.m. at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. That's P.O.C. All right, it is 1:09 a.m. and I did capture the next method employed. It just goes through the cycle of creating activity on a constant basis. After the plane, as I capture it, the video that I capture, the multiple videos that I capture of the helicopter, the use of the train. And this is the cycle that the state entity goes through as it's engaged in ongoing activity creation as I remain at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. It is 1:10 a.m. and that is P.O.C., the people of the state monitoring to that activity. Helicopter activity right now. It's 10:15 a.m. and the state's fake sun, as I capture it, right in a picture right now, and the state is patrolling audibly by helicopter. It is currently 10:15 a.m. It's May 5th, 2021, and I am at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts, where the state's light source is over. I want to be clear, the same location that I captured it at after 12:30 p.m. and it was over the same corner of the building. And as I captured in video, the state is group stalking by plane, and as you can hear, helicopter, blue and white helicopter. Let me go ahead and get that. All right, that's noise that the group stalkers in relevant position on the roof are making. Understand the state's flying over by Amazon Prime planes, helicopters. The state's fake sun is over the venue while they're engaging in relevant position by working on the roof. Okay, that's how the people of the state engage in monitoring you, and doing so vicariously on behalf of the entity that is making itself known by planes and helicopters and its fake sun over me. Absolutely impossible to coexist, as I captured in my video. You see it with your own eyes. This is what monitoring is, and this is the demonic activity before your face. You're seeing how I'm making manifest, making it clear. You don't have to have that spiritual eye. I am making it plain before your eyes what the state is engaged in, which is inspired by a demonic spirit. This is the state of California engaging in that, monitoring by helicopter, train, planes, and third-party group stalkers who are making noise pursuant to their ongoing knowledge of what I'm doing on my communication device. That's ongoing evidence against the people of the state who are monitoring me under the state's fake sun. All the activity that the state has created, which I just captured in video, and you're also listening to it now, it's all evidence of what is monitoring. Okay, that's audible activity under the state's fake sun. The people of the state monitoring me to that. All right, the people of the state shall be federally prosecuted. That is P.O.C. It's 10:19 a.m. Train activity, helicopter activity under the fake sun over the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. Yes, this is happening. That's P.O.C. 6THE060, 8SZD098, 7YZU115, 6MKR760, 8UVE984, 8VES279. This is 6XXF564. The state is patrolling by helicopter over the museum, and the state's fake sun is over the museum. 6VAP400, so I'm capturing third parties in relevant position, patrolling under the fake sun. 7RFM514. And that's another plane flying over. Flying over me, not over the roof of the museum, by the way. And that is Delta Airlines, third-party group stalker. License 8LWB725. Let's see, license 6. Oh, I already got that one. City of Ontario is already identified. 8MTH369, USPS number 2218779, 7HDD018, ZEUS DTR or OTR. Can't really see that one. It is 10:23 a.m. and I captured on video what is the state patrolling. That is the demonic conduct of which is criminally monitoring with communication devices and activity creation under its light source. But the state, I captured that in video, and I want to get this group stalker that's meeting me at the corner under the fake sun, creating light activity and loitering in relevant position, while the state is patrolling by a helicopter, 8JKG708, an old Caucasian male with blue and white striped shirt, button-down shirt, group stalking, all right? License plate, 7DIW220, 7VPN302, LEDZEP1, 8VGU316, 63411V2, because I didn't read that one, 7DIW220, SoCal Gas, under all the same facts. SoCal Gas, want to get that license plate, excuse me. They're all monitoring. I'll just go ahead and give them relevance. 8T85098, that's SoCal Gas. State is flying over at the museum in plane and helicopter. 68764G1. State flying over now as I move up north. The state's fake sun moves up north, and the state is flying over. That is Alaska Airlines. Third party providing instrumentalities of photo group stalking and monitoring. This is 7JNL544, 8VGU316, 81442J1, 8JKG708. Oh no, I read that one already. 8UMH 143. SoCal Gas is here in another vehicle as well, 1070960. That's not SoCal Gas. This is another vehicle sitting in relevant position at the traffic light while the state's creating audible activity by plane, train, patrolling by these third parties in their private and commercial vehicles. 6RML477. 8KVH998. Group stalking turning east onto Hope Boulevard. 7X, I can't really see that one. Let me see. License plate 7FFV364, impossible light activity as they cross paths. Same thing with SoCal Gas. That's the same thing with these license plates that I'm reading. Crest Transportation Solutions, US dot 53773, crossing path and audible activity creation. 5ZCY744, 8MNJ190, sex offenders, all of them. 5JTR362, 4LY3055 is a back license plate on this large truck, used as a means of molesting with light as well, audible activity under the fake sun. And that is indeed the fake sun. It is over the same exact corner at the museum where I am, Ontario Museum of History and Arts, where it's actually documented as of record, being not only over every other property, 5VWP125, but specifically as of late over the 227 at Economy Inn, where I clearly captured it, where the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, where AMR Ambulance, where the Ontario Fire Department were group stalking in the parking lot. 31779K2, and the state's fake sun, as I captured it clearly in that video, as I recall, I believe it is April 10th, already published on that documentation on my website and via podcast as to activity creation as I remain subject to monitoring, and the state's fake sun was captured there. That's the value of documentation. Being at the same location, central in its presence, 8SMW787 over me at the same time, is called impossible light activity. That's called stalking with light because the people of the state of California are sex offending group stalking psychopaths. 8RRU062, 29801R1, and that is tow truck companies acting together, monitoring. 7T53512. That's why you use a fake sun. That's why you follow and group stalk by not only government directly, by vicariously, and they're using communication devices. Light is very central to that. That is the explanation why you use something as extraordinary, all right, as demonic as what is a fake sun. And that is irrefutable direct evidence of it. But I want to be clear, I already established this. And as of right now, group stalkers on the traffic cameras, sitting in traffic while a helicopter is flying over them. That's the demonic conduct that they're engaged in. It's demonic. 8 EED 635, 7CWC 886. All right, they're sitting in traffic monitoring SoCal Edison in their private vehicles as well, group stalking, and a helicopter is flying over them. 7T53512. This is satanic. And it's also criminal. They're going to be prosecuted. San Bernardino Fire Department crossing path under the fake sun, 8 NOL 933. It is 10:28 a.m. and the state's helicopter moves from the museum as I proceed north, and it is remaining over me. So then, and now it's patrolling in front of me. All right, moving as I move, just like the fake sun, moving as I move. Okay, and it is ahead of schedule. Well, like I said, it is ahead of schedule, as I said. Like I said yesterday. This is already established. I already documented months before I went back to Economy Inn, because I've documented Economy Inn at 231 South Euclid Avenue before. Economy Inn is nothing but a third-party facilitating venue filled with group stalkers, 7EXM553. All right, demonstrating what all third parties are doing in relevant position under the state's light source, which is not the sun, it's a fake sun, 7JRU111. 7RGH917, 5YXP326, 8CFV510, 6DWG264, 7FIB600, 7ZLM288, 79508T2. That's a commercial vehicle, E8ELJ165, 7XAX668. Want to get these third parties? Group stalking, they're coming toward me on Hope Boulevard. They're driving east. 50590D2. Sex offender. 8UWV821. Sex offender. Omnitrans. Sex offender. License plate. 1399982. Bus number 1268. Sex offender. 8KQH608. Sex offender. They're all minions. Under a fake sun. This is demonic. Okay? 8DJF478, 7THW928, 8BYA694. And guess what? Of these documented actors, where they are not natural born citizens, they are worthy of deportation out of this country upon federal prosecution. 7UXM498, 6ZRN203. .607 BG, that's handicapped. USPS is a sex offender, crossing path again under the same fake sun. That is, by the way, moving east as I move east. 6STP 487. So let me give you a picture of that. It's 10:30 a.m. We're still ahead of schedule. Omnitrans directly in front of me. That's a sex offender creating light activity and proceeding to go east on Hope Boulevard. All right, going towards Sultana. In relevant position, 7YHG238, and I am standing under the fake sun, which is moving as I move east on Hope Boulevard. 6YOU545, 8UNH013. 7DSK324, group stalker under the fake sun, audible activity. USPS 8208625 is the vehicle number. License plate 86452U2. 8NSW 748 1429 8C2 8TRC 282, excuse me, 8CUK 813 091ZSZ, that's an out of state. 7BXW 880 8BJY 542 7X53005 8SMY 944 23335Y2. All right, these sickos and these perverts know very well that they're moving about under what is not the sun. This is the absence of coincidence. 5ZHL 768, if not an American citizen, to be deported. Group stalking inside of Rojas Enterprises. All right, this is where the state's fake sun is directly over this business at 220 Hope Boulevard. They're monitoring. State's fake sun is directly over their venue where I'm standing, or where the state's fake sun is no longer over the Ontario Museum of History and Arts, by the way, where it's supposed to be up until 12, right? But that's only if you're looking at the documentation in a vacuum, which you are not, because the state's fake sun documented remaining over 227, like I stated, at Economy Inn, for over 2 months. And at the same time, we're the group stalking entity that is AMR Ambulance. I'm going to use them because that's a prime example. AMR Ambulance, Ontario Fire Department, and the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department group stalking in the parking lot. 8JLK000. And the state's fake sun is where? Not possibly over the museum or over Rojas Enterprises or over the Ontario Over Family Community Library or over B&G Plaza at Shiro's Liquor. Oh no, not over Stater Brothers at 646 West Holt. No. Not over Lupita's Furniture on Holt Boulevard. Not over Sam's Liquor. Okay? Not over Los Angeles and Alameda at the Los Angeles Union Station. No, it was over me, over my room at room 227 where the state was group stalking as I captured on video. Okay? And that is definitive and probative and direct evidence against the people of the state and all of the group stalkers that I documented. USPS again, 7202196. That's going toward the prosecution of that entity. All right. Not only what they're doing, but their state of mind while they're doing it. And again, their state of mind includes based on the nature of the crime, documentation of monitoring of the documentation. This is all going toward that federal policy to be enforced. The state is patrolling via helicopter flying over to my right. 8TCB 582, 8SQX217, 37740Z1. 8H34322. Understand the people waging the same threat while the state is menacing around me in a helicopter. This is how the people do it, just driving around you under a fake sun, molesting with light. 36895J2. Using this commercial vehicle, license plate, impossible light while he passes by. 37277J2. 61821E2. 7SBP410 46483C2. License 5TLU 344 7BNG 650 76410K2. Omnitrans proceeding north on Euclid Avenue, 81442J1. It is 10:35 a.m. Omnitrans just provide a timestamp. That's what's occurring. They're monitoring on Euclid Avenue in relevant position, and these are third-party group stalkers driving right past me on Holt Boulevard, proceeding east under the fake sun, which is right here where they're crossing path. All right, 8C25082, mission. Linen and uniform service, monitoring using that commercial vehicle. License 6KLR703, 7LTR 708, 6UQK 042, 18614Z1, 6ZBM 497, 6XUK 111, crossing path again. That is 06616C3, substantially similar. That's a white Chevrolet pickup truck. Proceeding west on Hall Boulevard. And they're all crossing path while a fake sun is directly over my head. Nowhere near or possible to coexist being squarely over me at the museum. Okay. LED ZEP1, crossing path last night again. Under a fake sun, this is intentional conduct. That's a stalker and a group stalker. Okay. License plate. Ontario Fire Department crossing path under the fake sun, just like they were doing at Economy Inn. Psychopath driving a fire truck. License 55978B2. I can't really see that. This is P.O.C. 527168. That's an out-of-state plate. 7DNA 979. USPS again. License plate 7J87835. USPS again. This is license 1563089, City of Ontario. LYU 101. And again, the group stalker in the fire truck, City of Ontario. Group stalking, 8KCF 724. And doing so under a fake sun, which is the absence of coincidence. There is no idle presence, and the state has placed the fake sun there for the purpose of criminal monitoring. City of Ontario engaged in Ontario Fire Department criminally monitoring, group stalking, criminal facilitation, criminal harassment, and threatening conduct under what is the fake sun again as I move to a different location, and it is ahead of schedule, and that is just looking at just 24 hours ago where it was. And it was, again, remaining over the museum until I got up at after 12:30 p.m. That's where it was. All right, but I'm capturing it as of record 12:30. What sun do you know is remaining over its precise corner of a location for hours, and let alone moving in all manner of direction as I walk east and north and remaining over the venue? Not only that, you're talking about every other location where it's supposed to be at the same time. Impossible. 6JHM760, and it is not just merely over that location. It's very, very precise where it's located. It's always squarely above me. This is absolute, definite, conclusive evidence of what is impossible, meaning that is not the sun, and what you are getting from that, what you are extracting from that, is the intentional ability for every single last one that I'm documenting, including USPS and possible light on this four-cell building. It's empty, vacated, while USPS pulls up in relevant position using its vehicles as light activity. Okay, that's to be attributed to the state. 5YGF 536, 7KUV 330, 6JZF 641. No license plate on that sign. 55397U2. And that's again USPS, that female with the white hair. She's an old Caucasian lady. 7202196 patrolling on the street. 6VFR477. 6ROP652. 8FNW550. This is 8MNM050. 5CUH431, ATT10R87, and then 8NFJ F42 on the back of that car. 8KEK459, license plate 1604220, California exempt. 3XZV507, 5EQD965. All right, what USPS engages in, again, the same thing that the Ontario Fire Department engages in. This is not only is it monitoring, and it's doing so under the fake sun, just like every other individual that private individual that I'm documenting engaging in the monitoring system, but it is also the waging of a threat. It is also that which they want to be a distraction because they don't want me to identify these individual actors. Impossible light on this building right next to me, where there is not, that is impossible to be the sun. That's a communication of a threat by USPS. 8ROU651. Excuse me. Say it one more time. Jane Lice? Jane Lice? Is that what your name is?
Have a nice day.
Jane Lice, you're creating light activity under a fake sun. You're a criminal representing USPS, and you're going to be prosecuted for that. Good luck. P.O.C. She comes and delivers mail to 230 Enriquez, income tax, ABBA insurance, and comes right behind me, relevant position at Rojas Enterprises. License plate 8JQC673. It is 10:42 a.m. 8FTK 305, 23686V2, 8EBF 464, 41756D2, 72400B2, 32419E2, 8UOX130. It is 10:42 a.m. Alrighty. License plate 5TLN 523. 7SOH410. 7GPX 664. 8EXX000. 5YHC 671. 6HBN 739. Omnitrans proceeding south on Euclid Avenue on Holt Boulevard. Okay? I'm sorry, on Euclid Avenue, I am on Holt Boulevard. Just so you see, that's commercial actor crossing path. 6Y82011. All right, group stalking at Enriquez Income Tax Scissors Hair Salon. They're just group stalking in front of that storefront. Under the fake sun is where they're standing around. That's how the psychopaths engage in monitoring. 8CMK629. Looking around, oh, what's going on? Look, oh, well, we're looking for, and guess what? They're doing it under a fake sun. This is the demonic conduct that I'm talking about. Psychopaths doing nothing but group stalking with the state that placed a fake sun over them. All right, license plate 5YZN676. 7YVC674. 4PT. I can't really see that one. This is license plate 8AJW066. 8LCBB96, 7ZNC116, HAGMBKF, I believe, 7PAB768, USPS 3315337, W744VO, license plate 7156A3. Again, 71756A3. That's James Golner Services. That's a commercial vehicle. 5JAN781, 8CFN817, 8CPY598, 8S41270, 7UQM429, 6TSC419, 7BTW589, 8ROS896, 4HZA775, 7HNN363, 7GRW696, 14580A3, 8RVF948. This is Student Transportation of America, 7JOY189. That's a school bus under the same fax monitoring. Okay, the people that say driving that school bus, 7BMY194. All right, I want to be clear. These group stalkers now patrol to the opposite side to remain in relevant position under the fake sun, looking at, it's like they're surveying this for sale at lease building where the USPS was aiming, or the state was aiming impossible light, while they use their USPS vehicle to create light activity acting with the state. So they are now examining what is, and this is the guise under which the people of the state engage in P.O.C. They're doing it under a fake sun. They're doing it while the state is group stalking plainly in planes and helicopters, plain stalking conduct, and they're doing so now to my opposite side, okay? These are demented individuals acting as one group. License plate, no plate on that. City of Ontario, again, 1509108. The same ones group stalking at Economy Inn, 5CRG556. Remember, as I captured, they weren't even actually emptying the dumpster, and the state plays a tape of the sound of crashing dumpsters. And then in my video, you see them drive forward to the actual dumpster and empty it. They're group stalking then, they're group stalking now. 7CMD900, OBA2XA, that's Arizona plates. All right, it is currently 10:46 a.m. 1469414. School bus, Ontario Montclair School District, license plate 15181Z. Driving what is West on Hull Boulevard, City of Ontario again, and another dumpster truck, 1560779. City of Ontario is readily identified as a group stalker. That's P.O.C. They use all of their vehicles to engage in the criminal monitoring conduct. That's the city, the municipality engaging in monitoring an American citizen. License plate 8TVB732. Let's see, license plate 8TBE966. 8MTZ372, I believe. All right, it's 10:47 a.m. And again, fake sun planted over my head where I'm standing at Rojas. This is why you have group stalkers patrolling in traffic. This is why you have group stalkers patrolling in helicopter and airplanes. This is why you have the state's fake sun, which is in a distinctly different location, again, at a different time. Impossible to coexist with the totality of documentation. And this is a matter of common sense. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. 8BNU759, 5JUW612. 6R14730, 7MBW035, in case I didn't read that one, 8RQW576, that's what I want to read. 0365Z handicap, 6RVL548, 8LFL664, 8DOR692, 7DKE455. Group stalkers proceed to walk away as I turn on another communication device, walking toward Lemon, loitering in relevant position beside the abandoned building as though they're surveying it. It really does not matter what your form is. The fake sun is placed there for the criminal purpose of monitoring with communication devices. And that's exactly what they're doing. And doing so pursuant to ongoing knowledge of every word that I'm saying, while psychopaths outwardly conduct themselves as though they're doing something else. And that's what third parties do. That's including what the state does. That's what I captured the Ontario Police Department doing, monitoring. And you don't have to say anything while you're in relevant position, creating light activity and audible activity. That's how you're targeting. 8MUB548. And the environment is screaming out the truth of what third parties and the state are silent about. But their conduct reveals them as the psychopath, sex offending, perverted group stalkers that they are. All right, and so like I said, this is the unveiling of that entire system, and I will continue to go ahead and take names because that's what the system, the environment is designed for, monitoring with communication devices. License plate 8SVN516. That's called relevant positioning. I took a picture of the group stalkers standing at the end of the street. That's P.O.C. 4CLX556. License plate 8VCP797. The black BMW. License plate 8GEN727. 7BBH129. 8JCP623. 8KCZ272. 7WPE690, 8TWM244, 7WZS482, and it is currently, let's see, 10:50 a.m. 7TGS172, 7ZAJ648, 7TGS. Oh, I said that one already. Alrighty. 7HNA340, 9G38111, and AM4254 on the front and back of this truck. Another large truck with impossible light activity as it crosses path with UPS on the face of that truck. UPS, the commercial actor attributed to that criminal act of crossing path and audible and light activity. This is license plate 8BKX105. Omnitrans in relevant position while that impossible light activity is present, while the fake sun is over my head, and acting with these group stalkers who are maintaining presence right here while the state is flying over. And let me show you what's directly above their head as a fake sun. These are psychopaths. And this is how psychopaths conduct themselves under a fake sun. License plate. That's a plane. That's also plane activity. This is a license plate. Let me see. I missed that one. It is 10:51 a.m. It's P.O.C. Right. License plate 8EBK837, 8HTK362. License plate 28584A3. License plate 33164C3. And license plate 4WIB350. Let's get this one coming under right here. Let me show you. This is crossing path. This is psychopath. 6CKM112. State's fake sun, not over Roll House Enterprises, right here where I'm at, Andy's Burgers. That's group stalking. That's all they got to do. Group stalking, crossing path. I'm just taking down names. It's P.O.C. Roll House Enterprise over there. And as I was facing this direction, it was directly over my head. So as I walk north, here it is directly over me. Okay? Museum's over there. 12:30 p.m. still over there yesterday, okay? As I'm going to B&G Plaza over here, and then again, you've got 227 at Economy and 2301 South Euclid Avenue. Yeah, that's P.O.C. Group stalking under a fake sun. Psychopath. This is demonic activity in your face. Satan likes to laugh, especially when he's caught. That is P.O.C., and that's called crossing the path, patrolling, and loitering in relevant position. And this is the fake sun. That's P.O.C. I did capture video. It's currently 10:53 a.m. and as you're hearing, that is the fake sun no longer over Rojas. Okay, Rojas Enterprises. It's proceeding north, just like I documented yesterday, and just like I've been documenting since last year when I was released from being kidnapped by the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. And I documented every day as I walked Mercy House to B&G Plaza to the library, right? and the state's fake sun moving in all manner of direction. License 5 UND 369, 5 NZE 332 in the drive-through in relevant position under the same fake sun that is moving above my head east as I walk on Holt Boulevard. Not over the Ontario Museum of History and Arts as I captured it at 12:30. And where is it coming from? Where is it migrating from? Because it's moving right now east as I'm walking east on Holt Boulevard. All right. And then it proceeds again based on the direction I take. If I walk up Euclid Avenue, fake sun remains over my head, moving north up Euclid Avenue. If I walk, as I stated, through the parking lot, walking north up Plum Avenue, through the City Hall parking lot, the Senior Center parking lot, the state's fake sun, not over Euclid Avenue, over my head as I go through that parking lot. All right. Indirect conflict again with its documented presence being over the side of the Ontario Open Family Community Library as I sit at the side of that venue, or at the Ontario Town Square as I sit at that venue, right? Because the state is following with that light source. And this is why the state's fake sun is not over the ice skating rink. I'm going to show you where it's at while I sit here in front of ultra personnel who are in relevant position under the fake sun. 7 a.m. 5 YHC 671. In the driveway, seen on the cameras, 6SJZ 949, exiting B&G Plaza. In relevant position, state's fake sun moving over my head as I'm standing at the B&G Plaza. This is ongoing documentation of the state's fake sun ahead of schedule. I have provided the evidence in every single way, not only the duration, meaning the remaining of this light source wherever I'm at a particular address, 5GEB 838, 5GEB 383, excuse me. But then you have what is also the impossible. You're talking about the time frames. So it's going to be over the library or beside the library, or trying to hide its location at the library ahead of schedule when it's supposed to be over the museum at that time, and it's clearly over the museum. That's unmistakable, and it's captured clear in video, and that's why you document in that manner. P.O.C. And let me capture what is the state's fake sun as I stand here in front of Shiro's Liquor. Okay? It's 10:58 a.m. All right, touching while crossing paths, 7EAJ 362. That's the state's directed light while they're crossing paths, and the state flies over my head right here. That is UPS flying directly over. It's 11:05 a.m. Under the state's fake sun, you have what is the molestation of light, and so that's license plate 7EAJ 362. That's P.O.C. 5WTY 395, 8UOX 130, 8RKV 817. It's 11:07 a.m. And that was the state again molesting with light as they are, they meaning third parties, are driving past me in the parking lot. The state's fake sun is directly over me, and that is a means of monitoring, and that's the sexual violence that they routinely engage in. License 7 MOU 855, license 8 DGT 313. License 5 NPW 544 8 KRK 2330140 682 7 RKJ 581. Right, I have shown this light activity, especially not only here. I've shown it with regard to the state's impossible light activity, but even at this same venue, I have a lot of documentation of the state's use of directed light while third parties patrol in relevant position. This is the absence of coincidence. Third parties are very much aware, maintaining presence under these lit conditions, under a fake sun, while the state is aiming around and touching all over with its directed light. That is not only demonic activity. Understand, this is violation, molestation with an instrument of criminal conduct while you're monitoring with communication devices. This is a routine aspect of the pattern of conduct of monitoring that the people of the state of California are engaged in with intent and knowledge. It is on the cameras of Shiro's Liquor, 7 MOU 855. There's sex offenders on those surveillance cameras entering inside of that venue. As I proceed, following that video documenting the overweight Latinas who get out of that vehicle, that Yukon that I document the license plate of, another third party engages in, and again, this is group conduct, so it's attributed to the entirety of the group. Another third party crosses path in the parking lot behind me, and the state is aiming light, moving it, swiping it across the building in front of me, where these overweight third parties are getting out of that vehicle after having violated while they're monitoring. So you're touching while you're group stalking with the government. That also at the same time was flying over my head in a third party plane, UPS. All right, those are the coinciding facts, which is also the absence of coincidence. Military police, 7115W. That's a federal license plate engaging in P.O.C. Understand the state's fake sun is moving over my head as I'm walking what is now back west on Hope Boulevard. All right, still ahead of schedule after 12:30 p.m. The state's fake sun remaining over the precise corner. Not just over the museum, but over me at the museum on the south side, at the very corner where I'm standing. Still not even that time, and this is where the state's fake sun is following me where I go. Military police engaging in the criminal pattern of conduct. 8 PTJ 745. The entity that's monitoring provides documentation as to what is the expansive system and engaging in having everyone and every single type of agency that you can fathom participate in it, in no way suggesting under any circumstances that it's not actually occurring. They're literally stupid enough to, and bold enough, and this is how Satan operates, especially after it knows that it's already been defeated, but this is speaking to what is a state system. And I have documented federal actors as well. Going through the drive-thru at Andy's Burgers under the fake sun, which again was an entirely different part of the day, speaking to the criminal pattern of conduct, stalking with light. And while you're in relevant position, that's the absence of coincidence. That's why the state's fake sun is there, so that you are monitoring with it. While you happen to be engaging in an identical behavioral pattern, that's the absence of coincidence as well. While you have what is a circus of lights, which is what I'm speaking about, was occurring, again, at B&G Plaza, surrounding and touching, molesting with light, which is not naturally occurring even if that was the sun directly over me standing in that parking lot. It's not. But that is also the state's directed light. Right? License plate 19447Y1. 8 BOY 682. 1544464. That's a school bus. People in the state driving the school bus, monitoring in relevant position. 8NEN 243. 6ZIJ 976. 6V 71474. And like I said, the demonic pattern is once I identify them, more and more do it. So there's another school bus, 1529426. Another school bus. This is 1241741. That's the demonic pattern, okay? Once you identify a demon, then more and more of them start coming in packs, all right? That's P.O.C. And it's audible activity under the fake sun. And I want to show you what is the movement of the state's fake sun from being right where I was standing in front of Shiro's Liquor while the entity is engaged in sexual violence, touching all over, not only with its fake sun over my head, but with the state's added directed light all onto me while third parties are group stalking, presenting a threat and touching you while monitoring you, okay? It's 11:12 a.m. and the fake sun is not over Shiro's Liquor. It's directly over me as I am on, that is Hope Boulevard, right here facing the Metro 102 apartments, okay? I'm going to go ahead and take capture of that. All right, license plate 7EZL 906, another bus 1068243, another school bus. 5EQX 542 8NML 420. And as I just captured in the images, the state's fake sun nowhere near being directly over the Shiro's Liquor storefront as where I was standing, where the state was molesting with its directed light while third parties are crossing paths. 7XZD270. You have what is the state's fake sun directly over my head as I captured it, as I am at the opposite end at Plum and Hope Boulevard, facing what is the Metro 102 apartments on my right. And so that is the clear movement. They are in relevant position in the Andy's drive-thru, group stalking in relevant position, okay? That's P.O.C., all right? And that's what I showed as I walked the opposite street on Transit. City of Ontario using their dumpster truck as a means of relevant positioning over there on Transit. The state's fake sun nowhere possible, even similar to being over the skating rink as I captured it yesterday. While I was on that side, you have it remaining over here while I'm over here. And is also that which is hours before the actual time that I'm capturing it. Why? Because I was there, and that's where the state's fake sun is, in the same way that the state is present with its helicopters and its airplanes, acting with third parties, providing those instrumentalities. 6R14730. 69085H1, 8TJH125, 7JOL 677, 8FJV 515, 7WHD 298, 11544B3, 45257. That is a different looking plate. 79885D1, 81001F2. License plate 8TWZ070 5923 1E1. License plate 67432D2. It is currently 11:14 a.m. Okay. Alrighty, at this time, State's Fake Sun was directly over not only Economy Inn, but it's also directly over the property of 435 South Bonneview. It's also directly over the property of what is 408 West G Street. It's also directly over what is 13922Y2. It is also directly over. You got more school buses. Understand, that's just recognition of the theme. That's what Amazon Prime provided a vivid illustration of. As you identify an actor, more of them come, and it's like they engage in more herding. It's group conduct. This is demonic at its root. Understand, that's how demons act. They act in packs. And especially as you identify an actor, then as with this system specifically, when you identify an actor, then more and more of them engage in that same life. So that's what Amazon Prime engaged in, and countless other commercial actors as I identified them, and then they would engage in herding. That's a pattern in and of itself while they are engaging in ongoing monitoring. That's a threat identified by the actors as I identify them as well. That's how that's going to be attributed under federal law. 5DJC 664. 5MUF 743, 7EMW 064, 8MNJ 190, 8JTA 963, 6ZGH 792, 7UJY 245, 1414P2, I believe, something similar, 7FJG 477. All right, you're also going to what else can you look at? You can, very common, very, very simple. All right, the time that I was at the same intersection yesterday, FedEx engaging in P.O.C, SoCal Edison engaging in P.O.C, creating light activity where the State's Fake Sun was squarely over me at this intersection. I am at the same intersection on the opposite side of the street. This is essentially the same exact location where, by the way, the actual sun is not going to be at any time of the day. This is not the sun. This is the state's placement of its light source, as I clearly captured in pictures. FedEx engaging in that P.O.C under what is the fake sun ahead of schedule at the same position, and I don't understand how that would work out as far as where the sun is supposed to be based on the state's placement of that light source. If that's the sun, how is that happening naturally? 8TJ 399, 8TBJ 399, substantially similar. Loitering in relevant position, parked on the side of Ontario Town Square apartment homes, and as I cross the street, moving that vehicle. License 7NLB 309. Understand they're at the traffic lights in relevant position. There are loitering under the fake sun, which is directly over me at this traffic light. Again, that's 8TJL 399, sitting in their vehicle, loitering as I was on the opposite side of the sidewalk, moving as I move, okay? Light activity and crossing the path, light activity under the fake sun. 8TJL 399, okay? It is currently 11:17 a.m. Okay, it is May 5th, 2021. It's 1:37 p.m. So I'm inside of the venue again, and as I captured in images and on my podcast, The State's Fake Sun, as I'm going at a different hour, different time frame, going to the same venues. License plate 8TSR479, patrolling, driving around the turn circle as The State's Fake Sun is directly over my head. I'm standing at the entrance. Understand, yesterday, this is just the immediate documentation. As I exit the entrance of the same venue, the library, the state engages in feigning a fake sunset right as I am exiting the entrance doors, which I show the state engaging and placing its light source directly over me as I arrive at this venue from the parking lot of the state facilitating venue of the City Hall, the senior center, the senior apartments, right? Heavily documented of the State's Fake Sun being over this venue at the same time that I'm arriving. Again, so I'm just showing this in pictures as the state's light source remains squarely over my head. And again, this is before I yesterday, May 4th, again, as I captured at 12:33 p.m., I believe, state's fake sun over the venue. Hours prior to that, yesterday, which is today. Okay, I'm sorry. Prior to that, hours before, you're talking at after 10 a.m., state's fake sun over the same location, remains directly over me as I travel to the same venues, Shiro's Liquor, travel through the parking lot. I walk on the side of the library so you can see the state engaging in this light source conduct, keeping its light source directly over my head, aiming directed light in the same location inside of the venue at a different time, okay? And this is what I'm capturing inside of the venue while third parties maintain presence with this light activity. This is a state that is group stalking as I capture on via helicopter and by airplanes, while the state is remaining present directly over me with this light source, and it is capturing inside of the venue. I am showing you're looking at the impossibility of this being that which is also documented where I remained at Economy Inn and the state's light source at the same time today. Again, you can compare today. I'm at the museum, Ontario Museum of History and Arts, at around 10 a.m. All right, and the state's fake sun captured over that venue, not just over that address, over my room, over the roof at the same time. All right, where I captured, again, as I'm referencing, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, AMR ambulance, the Ontario Fire Department, creating audible activity and light activity in relevant position in the parking lot of that venue where the state's fake sun is over that venue, which is impossible to coexist with being over the Ontario Museum of History and Arts at the same time. Also, what I captured on May 1st, as I am walking north up Euclid Avenue from Economy Inn at 2301 South Euclid Avenue, where I am anywhere near the Ontario Museum of History and Arts at 10 a.m. in the morning, I am at the corner of Philadelphia and Euclid capturing Amazon Prime engaging in group stalking at the 76 gas station, where the state's fake sun is over me at that time, all right? Nowhere near being over the Ontario Museum of History and Arts, the B&G Plaza, over the 150 East Holt, where the state's fake sun is captured directly over me. This is impossible to coexist, and this is the significance of the directed light that I'm capturing inside of the venue, as you are looking at none other than relevant positioning of group stalkers inside of the venue. The state sounding its sirens while the security guard just patrols outside of the venue in front of me. That is acting with the state that is aiming its fake sun directly over the entrance doors where I stand at the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, located at 215 East C Street. That's audible activity that the people of the state are monitoring to. License plate 7YNC028, license plate 8A86696, FedEx in relevant position at the Wells Fargo. State's fake sun is over this venue. All right, and you're going to recall, just go back 24 hours ago, 1:30, where was I at? Not quite yet here, and the state's fake sun over me. 90191V2, AAA, group stalking, crossing path, monitoring to that audible activity. That's the people of the state in a commercial vehicle. Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, a facilitating venue, monitoring while the state is providing audible activity for them to do so, engaged in sexually violent conduct. This is not a family venue as it portrays itself. They are engaged in monitoring American citizens, sexually violating American citizens, and threatening American citizens in concert with that state that you are hearing, amplifying that audible activity with the state's fake sun. That is also directing the light that you're seeing inside of the venue. That's P.O.C. It's 1:41 p.m. You can take my temperature.
Please get close for taking temperature.
Normal temperature. I also want to document when I came to enter in, they tried to use the same temperature taking machine to deny me entrance, and that's why I took a picture of it. That's a communication device that they maintain control of. I took a picture of what is the directed light while these group stalkers surround inside of the library. The state is monitoring and the ongoing presence of that fake sun, again, ahead of schedule. That's P.O.C. It is 1:42 p.m. All right, it is 3:59 p.m., Wednesday, May 5th, 2021, and I did re-enter the third-party facilitating venue full of minions monitoring with the state with its fake sun over this venue of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, the state directing light as I showed, and what I'm taking pictures of, what you're going to see is literal monitoring conduct as it is occurring on my communication devices, okay? And so that is in direct violation of existing federal law. The state is monitoring, and they are monitoring inside of this venue. That's in direct violation of 18 U.S.C. Section 2261A, subsections 1 and 2, monitoring on a communication device, and also doing it on the venue of the internet, tampering with the operation of my phone, doing it on behalf of the state, okay, which has its light source over the venue, which is directing light inside of the venue. None of, as I've already established, this is the surrounding environment where they are also stalking with activity. And so what I'm also taking pictures of inside of the venue are third-party group stalkers. For example, the aged woman on the opposite side of the desk, she's doing this, hitting the desk with her finger with simultaneity to what I'm doing on my phone as I go to a different app. What you hear in the background, those are the minions that are engaging in creating audible activity, as they are aware of the fact that I'm about to document on my podcast the fact that she was creating that audible activity with simultaneity to my logging onto the Wi-Fi. That is the images that I took of the group stalker using that book cart. Substantial noise created with simultaneity to my conduct, okay? Group stalker that I take a picture on the opposite side of this partition, hitting the desk, like I said, in this manner with simultaneity to what I'm doing on my communication device. And the images that I'm showing you are the monitor and conduct trying to obstruct every step of the way, accessing that which is accessible, that which is in no way malfunctioning. This is my Google Drive, this is my cloud drive on the phone, and so I take a picture of what is the obstruction on the phone. This is monitoring, and also you're seeing what is actual the cloud drive. The file exists, the storage space exists. This is monitoring that you're seeing on the phone. The result of this, this is all the result of what I am speaking to, the behavioral pattern that the group stalkers inside of this venue are engaged in, acting in concert with the state, which, as I have also established, is stalking via plane and helicopter, police, fire, and ambulance, providing ongoing direct evidence against the third party, that is Ontario Family Community Library, representing the people of the state, using this establishment for purposes of criminal monitoring of an American citizen of communication devices on the venue of the internet, which is a means of interstate commerce, doing so vicariously on behalf of the state, which is present in the airspace, present with its light source, present with its engineered light, all right, and present in this manner. That's called audible activity that the people of the state of California are monitoring too, okay? You're seeing minions that are patrolling, engaging in the P.O.C. It is currently 4:02 p.m., and that is P.O.C. All right, 4:53 p.m. as I did capture a video of what is crossing a path by a third party acting with the patrons. So they're all third parties acting together, creating form for one another, and just engaging in what is activity creation pursuant to my activity on the communication device on the internet, and acting in concert with the state that's aiming directed light onto the partition, as I stated in this video. 4:53 p.m. Again, it is a square white light. This is the state's directed light aiming onto the partition right next to me and also touching my person. 4:53 p.m. That's impossible light activity occurring inside of the venue, Ontario Family Community Library, and that is P.O.C. That is sexual violence assigned to the third parties, monitoring with the state as the state is directing that light right where I am sitting, and pursuant to the ongoing rhythm of what I'm doing on the internet on the phone, while they are also monitoring, tampering with the phone, the internet access to the functionality of the phone. Okay, so that's what I am maneuvering in on my phone, and the state is, as I'm going through different apps and different pages and selections, aiming light inside. This is while they are merely maintaining relevant position inside of the venue. That is acting in concert with the state. It's 4:55 p.m. Walking around the perimeter using the book cart with simultaneity, group stalker behind me, hitting the desk. They're creating ongoing noise, and walking in relevant position around with the bookcase, just like I demonstrated yesterday, where she was using, meaning she, the employee of third-party facility in video, Ontario Family Community Library, was using the bookcase, slamming books down, and using the scanner with simultaneity while they were monitoring, which I also provided images of while I was using the desktop, okay? Just using the bookcase, doing the same thing, all right? Now, as these psychopaths, this is demonic conduct, as they are repeating it while I'm speaking, because they're maintaining real-time knowledge of what I'm doing, understand it's all ongoing audible activity. So not only is this evidence of the people of the state creating activity they're monitoring, it is also that which is occurring while the state is aiming light inside of the venue in a manner that is absolutely irreconcilable with the evidence, as I've demonstrated, where the state places its fake sun and nature and common sense and science. It is also that which is occurring pursuant to the same behavioral pattern. This is direct evidence on every front. They're creating audible activity. They're monitoring with the state that is monitoring and group stalking. They are acting pursuant to that. They're facilitating it by virtue of everything that you're hearing while they are in relevant position. This is Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. It's 4:58 p.m. And this is monitoring conduct, and this is the demonic conduct while I'm inside of a venue. Okay? Inside of an Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. That's what they call themselves. P.O.C. 5:01 p.m. as I am updating my podcast. I'm deleting an episode from one that I don't intend my little episode snippet, or my update to documentation rather. And as I do that, impulsible light activity appearing on the partition. Again, this is the state repeatedly aiming light. Again, this is coinciding with group presence by the group stalkers inside of this venue, and the ongoing audible activity that they are creating, not only surrounding with activity, but also doing it pursuant to the same behavioral pattern, stalking with activity creation. Okay? It's 5:01 p.m. It is 5:09 p.m. and possible light activity appearing again on the partition beside me. This is the state engaging in ongoing concerted conduct with the people of the state while I'm inside of Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. That is, again, the white light appearing on the partition as I'm in operation of my communication device. This is monitoring conduct. This is also demonic activity, but they are monitoring. Okay? P.O.C. Erica Lorraine Spencer here. It's currently 5:35. I just wanted to update on my podcast. The images that I took are of group stalkers that are in my immediate vicinity. Again, they are maintaining noise level even by, and you can just think about this when you're talking about stalking with activity. You can summon the help of one of the employees pursuant to the behavioral pattern. They walk and cross path to come help pursuant to that behavioral pattern. The state is aiming light inside of the venue. Activity is maintained, and activity is also being created pursuant to what I'm doing, not only physically, but on my communication device. And I also want to show ongoing monitoring on my phone, the result of engaging in the criminal pattern of conduct by blocking the access to the cloud. It's not really blocking, it's just engaging in tampering with the internet, and it is all serving the criminal purpose of criminal obstruction of justice. And my documentation of what is the directed light inside of the venue is the direct evidence against the people of the state. I have already established that the state engages in stalking with its directed light and its light source, which is a fake sun, and that is what is occurring inside of the venue while I'm sitting at this desk, this partition. And at the overweight, heavyset third party, the African-American male sitting on the opposite side. And I also want to be clear, his audible activity included stating that he's some sort of Marine. Want to be clear if that's the fact that he's in here monitoring an American citizen. And the other third party, that's intentional conduct that's created not only to monitor, but because the psychopaths are listening to me. This is the third party group stalker whose image I took, engaging in just hitting on the desk, hitting on the keyboard, making noise, all right? Just like I show you're hearing with the bookcase. Any sort of activity is what they are engaged in while the state is directing light. And I have already established that the state is engaged in this stalking with light, okay? And that's what's occurring on the partition. And this is the ongoing activity creation and the evidence of what is monitoring on my phone, which is a communication device, which is on the venue of the internet. This is at third-party facilitating venue, Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, using all manner of what they are engaged in as a business, as an establishment, to monitor American citizens, to sexually violate and touch while they're monitoring. What the state does, the people of the state are doing in concert with it, facilitating that conduct. At this establishment, the people of the state acting through this, they are sex offenders, okay? And this is how you're engaging in that sexual violence while you're intending on monitoring and doing so continuously. Those are the images, though, of the group stalkers in my immediate environment, keeping up activity, acting in concert with the rest of these group stalkers that are just patrolling around, because that's all they're doing is monitoring. It's 5:38 p.m. and that is P.O.C. 6:05 p.m., Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. Flying at the same location right next to me over the senior center. Okay, those are senior citizen apartments, hovering over those apartments. All right, under the fake sun, which has remained. I captured it over the building. Supposedly it's over the staircase, such that light is aiming onto the elevator after I captured it on the side of the library upon entrance, right? But then again, you see it moving as I move. I'm talking about it being the fake sun. And so the state's light source goes over the building proper as I am inside of the building, remains back over me as I exit the building or enter the building. Understand that. It is 6:06 p.m. helicopter activity also as I exit on surveillance cameras, security guard monitoring while I'm inside of the bathroom, a private space, standing out in relevant position outside of the bathroom door. And you'll see the employees, they're engaged in positioning, using what is going to pick up the sign outside of the door of the library as the means of loitering in relevant position while I'm inside of the bathroom. Understand on the opposite side of the wall, they're in alignment. They also create activity. They also create impossible light. The state uses their picking up the sign as a means of creating impossible light activity that moves around on the surfaces as I'm walking out of the door. This is how third parties act with the state. State's fake sun, as I captured, is in the same position. Of course it is, because this is where I am. But what I captured again, and this is when you're just looking at it in this small time capsule, just from yesterday to today, you're seeing the impossibility of it being the sun. Oh, but we have even more than that. We have the documentation that I gathered for over 2 months where the state's fake sun is, in addition to just on May 1st when I leave that venue after remaining for a prolonged period. And the state's fake sun was nowhere near this location at all because I was still walking north up Euclid Avenue, documenting heavily the people of the state of California. And so you have the state's fake sun in a position that it is impossible to be in. All you have to do is look at the timestamps from yesterday and today. Where was it at 10:30 a.m. this morning where I was at? Okay, I started my video at 12:30 p.m. and the state's fake sun was directly over the museum, like I already stated. 10:30 a.m. the state's fake sun is directly over the side of the museum where I'm at. Okay, this is all visible in the videos. And then ahead of schedule, I arrived to the same venue where the state's fake sun is in, believe it or not, a different position, not on the side of the senior center over the apartments, where the state was keeping its fake sun day after day after day. And I was saying, I pay attention to this as I go from other places, but not that in and of itself is established that that's not the sun. But in and of itself, compared to what the state is doing now, it's not even in the same location, similar location. That is never going to be coinciding with, how was it ever over the Ontario Town Square? How was it ever over the Laverne Law School? How was it ever over the Ontario fire department? I walked all the way back there. Do you remember that? Where SoCal Edison was group stalking while I was walking back there under the state's fake sun, where it was moving all around. How was it ever in all of those locations where it was over the Page One Cafe when I was on the opposite side of the library? You have to remember the whole big picture. This is the state literally moving its light source. And the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, the group stalkers that work there, the group stalkers that are in there loitering in relevant position, acting with the employees, all of them together. That is the state engaged in monitoring, while the state is, as I documented in real time, aiming impossible light. The state's engineered directed light, touching my person. Just like as the state stalks with a fake sun, sexual violence, that's a stalker that's touching all over you with its instrument of criminal conduct that is serving to threaten your life as the government is monitoring you with every single person around you. That's sexual violence at an unprecedented level. And you also have the state aiming its directed light inside of the venue, as I am on the computer, as I'm on my laptop, as I'm on my phone, and ongoing documentation of what is monitoring on my phone. Again, trying to block what is access to my cloud drive, that's monitoring. That's literally monitoring on the phone. That's the result of engaging in the criminal pattern of conduct. This is in violation of existing law, as I have documented, referencing 18 U.S.C. 2261A. This is what the state was doing while the state was directing light and the group stalkers were creating activity. The people of the state at Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library monitoring to this. (6:10 p.m.) under the state's fake sun that remains over here. Do you think that the sun is setting? The sun is rising over the Ontario Museum and setting over the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library where I happen to be. No, it's not. Oh, okay. So, like I said, everything that I recorded while those minions in there are pushing around the book cart. not only while they're monitoring before I start recording on my podcast, but as they repeat it while the psychopathic minions are listening to me and document their criminal conduct on my podcast. Understand all of that is evidence against the people of the state who are monitoring. And I want to be clear, they are sex offenders, okay? Sex offenders identifying themselves as a family community library. Understand, this is how Satan works, okay? You can call yourself whatever you want. You are engaging in intentional conduct. The state is aiming its light, and you also happen to be acting in concert with this light that is arriving out of nowhere, okay? As I am engaged in activity on my communication device, you also happen to be making noise and surrounding me physically, pursuant to the ongoing documented pattern of conduct, while the state is aiming this light. Okay, which is unnaturally occurring. That unnatural light in and of itself is how you are deducing the absence of any coincidence, and it is the ongoing occurrence of a criminal monitoring system using communication devices. This is the documentation of the people of the state of California acting via the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, demonstrating a determination, communicating an ongoing unlawful, impermissible threat while they are engaged in sexual violence, corporate invasion of privacy by entity, monitoring on behalf of the government that is providing none other than additional evidence against this third-party facilitating venue as to what they were doing for hours under the fake sun in the environment where the state is directing its artificially engineered light, including touching my person, not just surrounding me with it, but touching and molesting me with it, which is also threatening, which is also that which is directly relevant to what the people are engaged in. They're engaging in monitoring together. They're engaged in sexual violence together. They're engaged in corporate invasion of privacy together. They're engaged in surveillance together. They are engaged in the P.O.C. together. It is 6:13 p.m., and that is P.O.C. That is the helicopter that immediately sounds. Again, it was already present. It immediately sounds directly behind me and proceeds to fly over the same location, over the Ontario Senior Center apartments directly above me. I'm sitting on the side of the library at 6:32 p.m. and does so with simultaneity to my opening up my cloud on my phone, which the state is actively trying to block. This is what they were doing inside of the library, okay? So as I open it up on my phone outside, immediately the helicopter flies, creating audible activity for monitoring under its fake sun. Third-party group stalker crossing path, as what you hear is supposed to be a car, a loud car. The state is amplifying sound while that group stalker crosses path, driving on Lemon Avenue beside me, helicopter flying right over at the same time. That's P.O.C., and that's what they were doing inside of the library, okay? It's 6:33 p.m. 6:33 p.m., flashing white light while I'm sitting here under at the side of the library. Playing immediately starts. As I say, 6:33 p.m., so I'm going to continue recording. That's ongoing audible activity, not going anywhere, just amplifying the sound of plane activity and patrolling by planes, okay? That is P.O.C. That's all that's occurring while I'm inside of the venue. And as I've already shown while I'm outside of the venue, that's exactly what the state is doing while I'm inside, and it is monitoring. And the people of the state are monitoring with it. Flashing light onto the partition while I'm sitting inside of the venue. Flashing light, where would that be coming from? That's the state that engaging in using light activity with simultaneity to that audible activity that it creates. That's also demonic activity while it is monitoring, actively trying to block the Google Drive. This is in violation of existing federal law. Understand, Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, they are still on surveillance cameras and in relevant position monitoring. They can look like they're typing on a computer. They can look like they're filing books. They can look like they're on a iPad doing something. They're monitoring. They're in relevant position. They are acting with the state that is flashing light onto me while I'm on the side of this library. They are acting in concert with the rest of the third parties on Euclid Avenue, on B Street, on Plum, on Holt. They're all in relevant position. I am surrounded, and the state is focused on where I am, flying helicopters and airplanes and flashing light. Okay? It is 6:34 p.m. Rumbling plane engines, 6:36 p.m. Stops immediately as I start recording. I just recorded it, so that's the state. That's P.O.C. (6:46 p.m.) Now, again, that's just a method of the activity creation, also indicative of the stalking by the state. But let me be clear, activity doesn't stop. The state is creating activity through the sound of amplified vehicles speeding down the street. Very common when you're outside. This is a very heavily used method of activity creation while I'm outside. And it's supposed to be every car, it's occurring with simultaneity to my activity on the internet, okay? As I make any sudden move or new movement, all right? While the state is aiming its directed light and its fake sun, all right? And at nightfall, as I showed, not only did I show last night, but as I show on a constant basis, the state is always directing light, okay? So that is P.O.C, and that is just speaking to the state creating plane activity, but using the sound of vehicles pursuant to that same stalking with activity conduct. Group stalkers that are patrolling, walking past on foot, creating audible activity pursuant to that same behavioral pattern, stalking with audible activity. The state is always creating activity for monitoring, okay, on a ceaseless basis, because it is monitoring on a ceaseless basis, and it is stalking in order to do so. That is the and hallmark, though, the activity via plane and helicopter and the sirens, all right? And that is why I am also letting you know the frequency with which the state is creating that activity while it is focused on where I'm located. I want to speak to what is monitoring on the phone. And I have given screenshots of what is my device and screenshots of what is not of my device, but as the Google account shows you devices that have accessed your account. And I take screenshots showing, like, for example, the Linux. I do not own a Linux. I have a MacBook. I have a J-Star Android. I have two of those, and I have the Obama phone, so it's called, and I have what is the two Android. The other Android is a Boost mobile phone. I refer to it as the Boost phone, and then I have this one from T-Mobile. And I want to be clear, the T-Mobile phone is the J3 Star. And that is the device that I'm actually using. A device that shows up very often everywhere that I'm at is and being revealed as accessing my account on a device that I do not own. I do not own a Linux, Linux laptop. Don't own it, okay? And it's not the desktop computers that I'm using. It is also occurring while I'm inside of, for example, a private space. I took screenshots of this while I was at Economy Inn, a Linux accessing my account, and I don't own a Linux. And so I take screenshots of that. The other thing that I want to be clear of, so I want to be clear, the Linux is shown as accessing my account today, as I also captured in screenshots. But also, if you hear in the background, that's supposed to be firecrackers. I say it's reminiscent of firecrackers, reminiscent of a gunshot. It's just a loud boom, bang, like a loud pop. That's audible activity as well. The state just creating noise, just like any other third-party group stalker. Start screaming for no reason, start hitting something that they're around, start making any kind of noise. That's analogous to what the state does, just making a pop in the atmosphere. It's audible activity, and that's what was heard right now in the background. I want to be clear with regard to the function of this phone. It's a J3 Star. It's Android, and it is armed with the ability to access the Google Cloud, the OneDrive, Outlook has a OneDrive, and the Samsung Cloud. And so with regard to the state's monitoring, and this again, what the target individual is not obligated to decipher. This is monitoring on my phone. As I create accounts on Google, an email account, for example, you get 15 gigabytes of free storage. This phone is capable of accessing that storage in the cloud on the phone. So you take pictures, you can upload it through the cloud, and it goes straight to your Google Drive. The state monitoring, and this is what I was capturing by helicopter. The moment that I accessed the cloud on a different Wi-Fi, I wasn't off Ontario Library anymore. I went to Ontario Wi-Fi, and the moment that I access the cloud, helicopter activity, that's monitoring conduct. But I also want to be clear, Google may very well also be engaged in that my Google account is inaccessible through the cloud, and this is not a malfunction. This is monitoring conduct. I have documented Facebook. I have documented Twitter, using functions on my phone that do not operate. Now, yes, the state is present in relevant position, but these third-party actors, which are also third-party venues on the venue of the internet, okay, not only is Google a literal venue meaning a platform on the internet. It is also that which is a venue on the general venue, a venue on the internet, on the excuse me, a general venue on the internet, which is a venue in and of itself. Do you understand? So you're monitoring on the internet, which is a means of interstate commerce. You're monitoring specifically at the venue of Facebook, for example, on the venue of the internet. That's how I am identifying third-party venues, whether you're in relevant position or whether you're on the venue of the internet, and also third-party actors. And so I want to be clear, the inability to access the Google Drive, this is monitoring, and I want to also be clear, I'm accessing Google as engaged as YouTube, for example. I'm going to use that example because that is how closely I am being paid attention to everything that I publish, everything that I am using, and an ongoing effort, ongoing criminal efforts, criminal obstruction of justice, to engage in stopping my ability to do so. So the inability to access the cloud drive, this is not a malfunction. This is that which is occurring while I am being subject to monitoring by the state who is in relevant position. And I want to document here because this is that which is also that can be easily determined on many fronts with regard to Google's actual participation in that. The inability to access my my email address. For instance, I create a new email address. This creates another ability to have 15 gigabytes of free share. 15 gigabytes of storage, which you can access through the phone. This particular phone is enabled with that. And the inability, it's created, I access it on the cloud. The phone just continues to process like it's thinking. It's just constantly thinking, not accessing, not going through to my account, which is created. And as I also showed on the screenshot on Chrome, as I uploaded May 4th and May 5th documentation, which is the podcast, it is also again, complemented with documentation images and video, which are time-stamped, which go with this podcast, which is already uploaded to the newly created email address, the pattern of conduct 2@gmail.com, which I am fully capable of accessing through my phone. The state that is monitoring, blocking access to that. This is not a malfunction. Like I said, this is monitoring, and I want to make it clear that Google in and of itself it is up for question whether Google, a third party, already documented engaged in P.O.C., specifically criminal obstruction of justice, right, which is criminal facilitation, being actually engaged in my inability for my cloud drive to be operated through the phone in and of itself. So I want to document that, okay? Yes, the state is here monitoring it in relevant position. You heard the helicopter activity. That's what that was about, doing it with simultaneity to accessing that cloud. And this is what the third parties inside, as I'm capturing video of stalking with activity using the metal book cart that she's pushing around. She's creating noise with simultaneity to my operation of my phone, a communication device on the venue of the internet, and doing so while I am actively being blocked from accessing that. So this is documentation of the inability to, that in and of itself is documentation of the monitoring conduct, but I am not removing Google from being included in that criminal act, okay? This is not a malfunction on my phone. And this is that which is an ordinary function of the cloud, of the ability to access, and this is an ongoing effort to try to obstruct my ability to access, move around my files, my documentation, while the state is monitoring, threatening your life. You're hearing the helicopters and the airplanes, and you're hearing these psychopaths that are surrounding, making noises, the state flashing light. This is an entirely demonic environment. The targeted individual has every right to document for the purposes of prosecution. This is going to the intensity of the prosecution. I just want to be clear. The state is literally, I mean, not only is it not getting away with anything, the state is already identified. This is the state's system. The people of the state, when I say federal prison and not getting out, when I say psychopaths and straitjackets as a means of the punishment, and that is, that's speaking to every aspect of the pattern, of the fact pattern that is relevant. And this is an ongoing determination to engage in that. That's going toward the prosecution because the people of the state are subject, or they will be prosecuted. And I am going to prosecute them for, and every bit that I document, everything that I went through in order to go through that. This is informing policy. That's what it is. It's intensifying the prosecution. That's what it's doing. It is in no way getting away with it. This is documenting how that entity has absolutely no credibility whatsoever, where the targeted individual is bringing that that civil case, all right, against a public entity engaged in a criminal pattern of conduct of monitoring, federal group stalking and monitoring, and that irrebuttable presumption of public corruption is going to apply, okay? And so it is based on that which I have already documented. It is literally a very relevant and very probable aspect of what is being documented, the obstruction of the ability to access my cloud drive, an ordinary function of the phone. The email address is created. The cloud drive exists. I'm accessing it. Right, this is not a malfunction. This is the pattern, and I just want to include, based on not only the pattern of conduct by the state, but the pattern of conduct as I've documented by these third-party venues on the internet, demonstrating a criminal intent to facilitate the P.O.C, to obstruct documentation, which is criminal in and of itself. All right, they have already subjected themselves to that, identified themselves with third parties, and this is included in that. It's 657, and this is plain activity. Listen close. Minions are crossing path in the state's directed light. The state is aiming light, and I want to be clear, this is nowhere possible of coexisting with grocery outlet, where the state was engaging in feigning a sunset inside while I'm inside, both at the back of the store and then at the entrance doors. Pay very close attention to what I documented. And this is after it engages in keeping its fake sun every other day when I'm not at that grocery store next door to Economy Inn, feigning a sunset right there at the driveway of Economy Inn at 2301 South Euclid Avenue. But what you have is the state engaging in placing its light, and minions are walking in it, bathing in that directed light. They're monitoring while the state is creating plain activity. That's what I'm reciting as what is occurring. And this is that which is also documenting. We can go back to 2019, 2020. The state was feigning a sunset while I'm inside of third-party facilitating venues, Starbucks. This is all the same criminal act. Okay, and as I open and close the door, the state's directed light moving inside of that cafe, documented images of the third-party group stalking employees engaging in ongoing activity creation on a systematic basis, bathing in the state's directed light that the state was aiming inside of that venue. Also impossible to coexist with being at this location, being over a grocery outlet, being over what is an inside of the entrance. Remember, the state aims the fake sun so low that it's apparently aiming inside of Stater Brothers, aiming inside of all of these venues. And also aiming inside of this walkway onto the, as I showed yesterday, the Laverne Law School, the City of Ontario's City Hall, and they're patrolling in that. That's concerted conduct. That is not a coincidence, and they are not ignorant of that. While the state is also stalking, creating activity for their criminal convenience, okay? It's P.O.C, and that's just a specific note with regard to Google. That is not a mystery with regard to the criminal conduct of monitoring. Not only is this the unveiling of the reality that the government monitors, but also the ways in which third parties on the venue of the internet, these large companies engaging in that criminal obstruction of justice, a means of targeting understand, one who is not armed with the ability to document and prosecute. Imagine what these companies have been doing and have done before. Okay, what I'm documenting them, what I shall prosecute them for is a sample of it. Okay, this is how they act on behalf of the government. And so based on this documented criminal conduct, criminal facilitation, it is absolutely probable Google engaged in my inability on my phone to access my Google Drive, which is ordinarily a function that you are able to access and use freely, where you have internet access. And it's not a malfunction of the internet. The internet is working. Like I stated, I uploaded it. It's clear when I go on the browser and look at my drive, the state is obstructing the ability to access the cloud through the phone itself, all right, which is a means of trying to just block the ability, limit the ability to publish, which is an ongoing threat. And that is going directly toward the prosecution of the people who are monitoring with that entity, okay? Like I said, no credibility at prosecution. All you have to do is present that pattern of conduct, and the state providing this ample documentation. It's listening to the fact that it is squarely pegged as the stalker and stalking with light, right? And then the state does what? Flies around me repeatedly in helicopters all night, and then this morning, and you hear it again right now while I'm sitting outside, and engaging in this conduct. That is in no way suggesting that you're not engaged in that criminal system. This is speaking to that which is criminal at a life-threatening level, okay? And you're going to be prosecuted. You will pay for that, all right? This is a demonic entity that is relentless to that end, and that prosecution is going to be equally relentless, more so relentless, okay? It is 7:01 p.m., and that is P.O.C. 7:08 p.m. It's 7:08 p.m. again. Or 7:09. That's like a loud vehicle, audible activity, plane rumbling, loud activity, horns honking. That's audible activity. It's all activity. All right. As I press record, plane activity fades out. Loud vehicles are what is replacing the method of activity. All right. This is how the entity is acting. 7:09 p.m. Okay, so it is 7:22, and the state starts that audible activity flying directly over the Senior Center Apartments, 280 North Limit Apartments, right here where I'm walking as I leave the the side of the Ontario Over Family Community Library, and like I've captured the little minion on the skateboard. They're back there with their skateboards, also creating audible activity, monitoring as the state flies over, okay? Communication devices in hand. Like I said, a minion is not based on your age. Let's be clear on that. It is 7:22. That's plane activity, stalking with, literally stalking, group stalking in the path, and group stalking with activity. As I start moving, the plane activity is the method, as I leave from the side of the Ontario Over Family Community Library. It's 7:23 p.m. 7 KAC 222. It's 7:25 p.m. 7 NQP 901. License 8 NRY 353. USPS 7202180. Penske, PENSKE, California US dot 327574. All right, license plate 5XCJ091. 8 KBY 555. All right, 8 GVZ 443. 79884 W2. 7 PLK 676. 7 NRT 889. 8 SF 1172. It's substantially similar. NBP 127 19384 K2. 8 SVA 044. 5 JMK 219 8 KIT 668, I believe. An MPG 426, in case I didn't read that one already. Let's see, that is 8 KIT 648. 8 TFP 929. 7 ZPV 285. 7 AXD 411. 8 NKV 464. 7 WHC 668. 8 N 8QB524, I believe, essentially similar. Can't really see that. 7MLG858, 8LTH796, 7WRM658, 6ZZS020, 58726Y2, 8SVN386, because I have to wait. 25D9703, little peon motorcycle. State likes to mimic those as the cause for loud activity by vehicles. 6WZC399. Oh, I think I can go. I'm crossing the street at Euclid Avenue and Holt Boulevard. 6XNT062, 6PGK187, 5TSD419, 6BYA563, 8EXV861, 6H82536, 7HDJ585, 6MGL593, 8EXV861. Oh, I read that one already. 7TBY689, 8EXN861. In case I didn't read that one, I might have been a third already. 8MQH330, 7XEP762. It is 7:33 p.m. 8NXV250, 5UGL451, 8PGN526, 5NLB 995, 7VVF 749, 4VAP 200, 5MRG 409, 61056H1, 8CXF 282, 7SEC 970, 6EAK 083. Can't really see that. Hold on, it's a BMW. It's currently 9:06. It's 9:06 p.m. Excuse me. Six CAC 894. 6HYY 358, 1SHWNEE, 3UCT 681, 7CURLY7, 8DEU 816, 3TGZ 841, 7TFE 218, 8GNU 925, 8DQL 791, 7CIR 746, 7XKV 892, Penske, the commercial, the same U.S. dot that I read earlier, Penske engaging in crossing path again, 8TON 402, 5ZXK 751. It's 9:08 p.m. That one. 8CQF 459. PEGS, I can't even see that, and it does not look like a real license plate. 6MZK170. 8TW 944. And if this one's not an American citizen, worthy of being deported, okay? 5050083. 5050083 is a commercial vehicle. This is specifically American Fleet, California, U.S. dot 3061063. It says California 516440. All right. I read that one already. License 7DVD691. License plate. Can't really see that one. It is 9:09 p.m. NJL 882. 8TMB 326. 1276 1M1. 8TFC 526, because I didn't read that one. 8VSS 753. 6BXU 973. G45 IEY, I believe, looks like the out of state. 8RIL 599. 7TQ J404. It's 9:10 p.m. EHZ 3018, looks like an out of state plate. 7XFH097. AV48K26. It's on a Chevy. That's a paper plate. 6DOM734. And on this Chevy Malibu, driven by a female, looks like a Caucasian. Yeah, that's a paper plate in the front and back. They like to put paper on the front and a different plate on the back, stuff like that. 7EZT194, crossing path again. 8MEC 751. 7RZF869. 7VYD 12. Can't really see the rest of one. 7MF. I'm gonna scratch that. 7MUZ 651. 8AKL 940, 7JZZ 845, 7XNM 760, 8B98 91, 98691, 8KWK 677. Group stalkers with a spotlight, the same conduct. All right, I'm gonna get these third parties. Let's see. License plate. Excuse me, group stalker. License plate. 8LSZ800. 8CFE128. 5SLH073. 8TYB930. 7 NVU448. 7UMB801, I believe. 7CAI259. 4 URA372. 8S DN322. Can't really see that one. That's BMW SUV, white, driving south on Euclid Avenue. It is 9:13 p.m. AV 2687. Paper 8MMX 754. 7LON 077. 8DGP 247. 4CMF 245. 7KVG 111. 7FSH 027. AM, TV, FM. Around the corner from death, too, going straight. Anyway, it is currently 9:14 p.m. Eight GYH 501. 8 EOM 510. 5 FOB 627. 8 TGJ 282. 7 UIZ 014. 8 P.O.C. L59. I believe that's a paper plate. BKVY 272. STK MAZ. STK or SIK MAZ. Stickmaz. I don't know what that's supposed to be. It's a group stalker crossing path going south on Euclid. License plate 6. I can't really see that one. 8R WV 702. 10341 W2. 7 DFY 140. 8 FKA 105. 8 GW. Can't really see that one. 8 MQC 238. 3 VSB 572, I believe. Believe me, they're all worthy of this prosecution. The entire environment, they're just demons patrolling. I'm just going to write their names down. 78, I read that one. 8 FJB 912, in case I didn't read that one. BRAC 754. 7 MXR 788, in case I didn't read that. 7 ZYR 827. 5 GF 845. 8 LXT 897. 1420055, City of Ontario. It's 9:16 p.m. 9:16 p.m. I just want to be clear. BOS 1792. That's a Washington plate. Omnitrans bus route, published bus route as of the January 2020 book. I want to be clear. Their time schedule says 9:14 arrival. 4996572 license plate. 8 STE 566. 6 NVC 908 or 808. Excuse me. 5 HMJ 698. And like I've stated, how Omnitrans goes out of its way to arrive in order to monitor the state amplifying, Omnitrans providing audible activity while I'm at the museum. Understand systematically buses are arriving in order to engage in P.O.C. when I am not riding the bus. And Omnitrans not arriving per its published bus schedule. And I want to be clear, it communicated when I called its published bus line, the number on the sign at bus number 6217, stating no buses arrival, no buses reporting. And also, when I used its Omnitrans application, stating the same, when I look at the published schedule, 9:14, running every hour. 9:14 is the last bus going southbound. I just want to be clear. And that is P.O.C. as well. Where I am, especially at a bus stop, such as third parties bus stops, they know 6JYP 741. Crossing path again. And this is not the first time, again, as I am subject to monitoring third-party Omnitrans engages in deviation from its published routes. Did so even while I documented while I was on the bus. I got on a bus route and they changed the route while I'm on the bus, okay? Omnitrans is a certified third-party group stalker, arriving and or not arriving pursuant to a schedule. Outside of its schedule, it is pursuant to the pattern of conduct, okay? And it is not a coincidence. The state is flying around this intersection by helicopter. Where I am, the fact that I have an Omnitrans bus pass to get on the bus, this is not a secret. And Omnitrans engaged in P.O.C. in that regard as well. That is relevant under the federal law. That is the threatening and harassment that third party, heavily documented engaged in P.O.C., engaging in systematic crossing the path while I'm at the same intersection. And that is P.O.C. It is currently 9:18 p.m. License plate 6GYW 432. 8 UCY 997, 8 DSV 985, 7 PMW 951, 5 RMT 390, JAY RR3, 5 JBK 123. Can't we see that? DJ23 or OJ23, whatever. It's a group stalker. License plate 8CGA100. All right. License 60108P2. License 8DUP875. 7BRV 425. No plates on that one. That's funny. 7ZXK316. 6JUD122. 7YRV863. 7YXY68. I can't really see that one. You scratch that one. I think I got that one. Yeah. 6D. Oh, I think I got that one. 8BQK856. Guess I didn't read that. 8SSY 645. 8SVD 727. All right, and it is currently 9:20 p.m. and I just want to be clear. I was inside of third-party facilitating venue T-Mobile, and I did complete a purchase. I am on the cameras there, monitoring in that venue. 6VRB 021, 5EVG 350, 15875R2, 8LAG 155. 6600 AM2, 8RUZ 582, 7, I can't really see that one. 6YUC 024, 8K00978, 7KFK 941. And I did complete a purchase. And where I remain inside of T-Mobile, understand the same patrolling conduct while the state is amplifying audible activity inside. And the state is also aiming light inside of that venue, which is absolutely impossible light activity. On the bottom of the countertop where the workers are speaking to the customers and getting impossible light activity on the bottom of the counter space near the floor. 8CMZ 104, 7KWF 459. And this is license 7M19443. While, by the way, I'm at this corner of Euclid and Holt inside of the T-Mobile, absolutely, they are in relevant position. The state is patrolling via helicopters and airplanes. That is why it goes to that link in order to group stalk. 7UFU217. 67519M2. 8PLU719. Just want to be clear as of record, that's where I completed a purchase, and that's where monitoring was centered. The activity was centered. Light activity was centered. A third-party group stalker is still seen on the traffic camera monitoring while I'm inside of that venue. Understand that. It is currently 9:22 p.m. 8GHY704, 8ATE938, 5BIL114. Let's see. Can't see that one. Come along, come along, come along. You can hear me for a reason. I'm going to prosecute you. Listen to that. 7DTY750. All right? Listen. License plate. 7XKG580. 3WOZ405, 8CKY536. I just want to get this license plate over here. It's 9:23 p.m. 9505OX2. Omnitrans monitoring going westbound on Hope Boulevard, crossing path. Okay, no doubt Omnitrans is engaged in the same P.O.C. Okay, the state is patrolling, meaning it is flying in circles over this intersection, just like I captured in video last night. Last night being May 4th, 2021, where I captured a series more of third-party group stalkers, the vicarious actors. All right? Let's see. License 4TUG590. And that is P.O.C. ATWV 867. They gave me a pre-code. Is that what you said? Okay. 7WPE 942. Let's get some more sex offenders. 7JQA 755. 7WPE 942. I read that one. 8UMS 406. 7UKP 823. 7PHS 956. Did I read this one? AGC W147. 8TQK 282. It is currently 9:27 p.m. 8 UMS 406 486. In case I did not read that one, just want to be clear. 7 PHS 956. Want to make sure I read all these. 8 TQK 282. Yeah, I think I read those. All right. Bam, 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 bam. 7X. Yeah, I can't really see that one. 8SFS091. 7UFU 217. Crossing path again. Where you're group stalking, it's not a coincidence. You got group stalkers that are just driving back and forth, okay? 7BYM 224. 7SDE 473. 5RHY 357. Its own destruction. That's what Satan does. Its own destruction. 8SOL 816. 5MPE 651. Its own destruction. The course of the defeated while I'm reading their license plates. Just jumping off the precipice one after another. 8SDC 488. BD 97N48. That's a paper plate. Get a load of that. Audible activity. These heifers are going to be prosecuted. 97814L1. License plate. 8DSU684. And they look like and sound like the trash that they actually are. That's what the demons operate into. Trash. It is licensed. Let me get. Again. BD9Z4N8. That was that paper plate, okay? 97814L1. I love it. Okay, while another one turns to face me, honking the horn. 7S VW 953, I believe. 8 VBJ 094. STM 762. 5SKV 572. 7SQS 472. 96079A3. 7NMZ 309. 7ZKV 176. 8 VBJ 094. I don't think he's going to be clapping and excited when he's prosecuted. I don't think so. And neither are they, honey. They're not. That's the reality. That's the course of the defeated. What else are you going to say? And this is why they continue to fly helicopters, not because they have an argument, right? Just going psycho when you lose, and you lose. The documentation speaks for itself. 6KMC150. 7M23312. But I'm even going to use that to prosecute even more intensely. 5MRJ651. 8TEY611. 8LC. 8LCC 209. 8LCC 209. 8TPA 224. All right, so literally just driving back and forth. 7TTW 626. 8NBJ766. I can't really see that whole plate. Oops. Seven SVN 353. Six WXA 680. 5 FLM 741. BD 10L60. Two 705 6E1. 8 ETK 226. Make sure I got that right. 2705 6E1, that's correct. This is license 8 DFH 470. 8 PVB 169. Eight EBH 232. 8 GJA 377. 6 EMC 311. 8 NRF 417. 7 EYT 595. 6 PYD 101. 7 CGY 156. 8 VAX 143. Let's see, 5 VEB 391. 7 VEX 705. 7Y 30304. 5 VEB 691. Yeah, that's correct. Make sure I got that. Let me get this one over here. BP 16F36. That's paper. 5 PBV 733. Ontario Police. Vehicle number 1873. License 8X33A42. 5 TFX 290. 7 C50628. Ontario Police License 1510640. This is light activity by the group stalkers standing in front of Ballet Spa at 111, just aiming light onto the wall, helping the police that are at the traffic light, as though they're surveying me, standing in the middle as like I'm engaging, like they don't know that I'm monitoring. They're arriving. This is supposed to be opportunistic. This is P.O.C. They can say do whatever they want. They're monitoring and doing so with these people that I'm documenting. It is currently, hold on, 9:35 p.m. 8 EZM 814, 6 YBY 909. Ontario Police proceed south on Euclid Avenue. 8 MGA 396, 8 JUD 500. And let me be clear, as I am moving directions, so I moved from the intersection of Holt and Euclid, and I was standing at literally in the Meridian area. There's a little field area, and so I'm looking at these group stalkers over here, aiming light. That's light activity. That's what for example, the deputies, the sex offending deputies inside of the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department would use to create light activity inside of a private space. That's how you're doing. You're using a flashlight. You're using lights inside of a building. He's aiming lights onto the wall. That's creating light activity. Ontario Police sitting at the red light, right? That's called criminal facilitation. You're looking at what they're engaging in. And it's all for monitoring. ASQ 217. Can't really see that whole license plate. All right, and that's while Ontario police are sitting at the traffic light. The state is controlling the lights. They're in relevant position. They're engaging in positioning while I am at the meridian, moving around, in other words. All right, that like they do. If I make any moves, sounding their sirens, driving around the corner, being visibly seen, they are always sitting around stalking the Ontario Police Department to be identified as engaging, monitoring American citizens in criminal facilitation. 7D395K2, 8JKG362, 8RXW530. All right, you've got your commercial actors such as Amazon, Walmart, Target, you name it. I've documented it. They're engaged in the P.O.C. in the same way any government agency or department, such as the Ontario Police Department, the Ontario Fire Department, any municipality. This is that treatment under the federal law, and they're going to be recognized as engaging in that, especially the state acting directly. This is license plate 7MSK606, aside from those who will be going to federal prison for engaging in kidnapping. People, you will be going to prison. Listen to that, monitor that, because that's happening, and you won't be getting out. License plate, as I say that, psychopath, 91001T1 makes a U-turn in order to touch me with light. License plate, crossing path. Oh, no plates on there, not a surprise. P.O.C. All right, that's not a coincidence. When I say stuff like that, that gets their attention. Their conduct is not only monitoring, their conduct is speaking to their reaction to it. You need to listen to it. I'm talking to the entity, and you need to listen to it because it's going down. T609UO. It's going down. You're going to federal prison. 7SJM449. That's going to be policy. The entire police department. 8RDR627 20626X1. Recognized as one, monitoring American citizens. That's what needs to happen. And many of them will be going to federal prison. And I have documented Los Angeles Police Department. I have documented the police departments in more than Los Angeles County, in Orange County, okay, in Riverside County. While they're revving their engines as though they've won, you're not winning anything, and they know it. It's okay. I mean, this is the chorus of the defeated, but you just come on because I just want that name. 7KMK971. 8SYZ585, 8JIV073, 6CEB022, 7ZTW586, 789. I scratched that one. I didn't get that whole one. All right, I want to get the license plate of one of these group stalkers that we're monitoring specifically with the Ontario police. And I'm mentioning that because the police were sitting at the stoplight, and this group stalker was aiming light onto the brick wall, creating light activity. And one of them, the other ones walk away, but this one hops into a car so I can readily identify. License 8MJU557. ZTW586. It's currently 9:40 p.m. Eight USH 799, 8 SAD 427, 6 ZAX 734. 8KMN 760, 5SBV 669. Can we see that whole one? Seven YHN 263, 5AAA 019. 23116T1, 7FJP 129, 6UYTT76. I don't know what that is. That's a Ford Mustang driving east on Holt, looking like O.O.U.S.I, a black license plate with like 5 characters, O.O.U.S.I, something like that, making extraordinary audible activity, which the state is amplifying. 8RQF416, which is, again, this is the people of the state creating audible activity, light activity, group stalking, and communicating a threat while doing so, okay? 09525P1. That's a paper plate of a coward speeding past. Let's get his partners. License plate 7DNB319, I believe. License plate 23103U1. License 8VKD839, 7RJX180, 8BPN519. I'll get this group stalker creating light activity in front of the T-Mobile. 8PBA. I can't really see that one. All right, in front of the T-Mobile, and these customers were inside of T-Mobile monitoring in relevant position. Understand? Inside of the store, they're in relevant position. And the state creating audible activity. That's direct evidence. License plate 6CBG888. All right, flying right over. It's P.O.C. That's what they're monitoring me to. There you go. Okay. 7CJL161. 8CTW325. I can't really see that one. It is currently 9:43 p.m. 2550403. UMR724, 5SBV469, 8GTJ412. RJM251, 5DTL796. Let's see. That wasn't 251, that was 511, by the way. 8LQV160, 7MOS947. So I read the license plate and I said 251 is the last 3. It's not 251, it's 511. It's 9:44 p.m. This little peon. A loser in life and in eternity. Makes himself feel like something on a loud vehicle. Well, he's going to be prosecuted. License plate 7NMN348, 4PCC314, 8TXM052, 7GHJ874, 7BOG457. 8TGJ413. Listen to a loser. All right, license BHZOE, and on the back 8UHG411. All right, that's a paper on the front and a plate on the back. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. License 8PSR468. All right, I'll get this group stalker outside T-Mobile. 6YFW249, 7GGP424. T-Mobile creating audible activity. Helicopter flying over, state creating train activity. 5CPJ478. License plate creeping in the darkness. All right, 6JRD327. All right, let's get this license plate. YM002, can't really see that one. 5956, 5S2, 7VMA, can't really see the rest of that one. 8GJ8377, in case I didn't read that. Just want to get this one that's sitting outside. Creating light activity like the other group stalker was with a flashlight on the wall, using their headlights to do the same. Now pulling off. P.O.C. Listen to a loser. License plate. 7SXV413 8MNG023. Can I see that one? 8VPY469. 8UDE098. 8NFT013. Management. Global Management Inc. US.3329592. It's a commercial vehicle. Monitoring. This is license 8. Oh, I read that one already. 5FIW157. 4AHC083. Listen to a loser. Hear that. Listen to the loser. Listen. 8BNG121. Because guess what? In court, they're going to be They're going to be hushed up. 8UNG967. 03625B1. 8. Let me see. 8HMW938. 8PNJ673. 7MQF508. 8TFR807. 8UNG967, in case I didn't read that. 8JX2373. 8AFZ287. It is currently 9:48 p.m. License plate 5P08012 8HSG338. Can I see that one? 6659S21 or 2S1. You can scratch that one. It's not completely accurate. 7FYZ566. 7GVT366. 6XUX735. 7LFB, I believe, 330. 8PBW632. 7UTK612. 7GKT581. 7CTK114. 7XDX666. Can we see? Let's see. Let's see. License 8BNG121. Likes to cross path a lot. That's going to be considered when you're prosecuted. All right. P.O.C. It is 9:49 p.m. 8JYB866. Let's see, 5HDL934, 6HXA. Let me see, 6HXA263. And let me see, RTD3199. 8UVK984, 8CHC338, 7ZBZ921. That's Eco Environment Cleaning, LLC. That's a commercial vehicle. Monitoring. All right. 4MUJ790. 8PSZ833. 7VCE955. Okay. That's light activity. State providing that audible activity of the helicopter. It is 9:51 p.m. Oh, no, no, no. Stop. 3539. I can't really see that one. Thank you. All right, let's get this sex offender. Touching with lights. Light activity. State of stalking with a helicopter. Let's get this one. License. 8TIJ655-9427003. This is Dietz Towing, California 0338124. Again, that license 94270D3. All right, that's a commercial vehicle. P.O.C. License plate goes out of their way to make a U-turn. 8GCW147, which there is no way to actually make a U-turn on this side of the street. They literally had to drive the wrong direction in order to do that. And understand they're just trying to touch with light. They're monitoring. This is 2N1ML. That's a plate with a flag on it. Maybe an Ohio plate or something. I don't know. License plate. 8HRL4795LWE754-7X27060. See the plus part of upon understanding that they're monitoring and the elements that they are necessarily engaged in and the level of obsession such that they will continue to. They are literally coming to me. And that all I have to do is engage in something that they are intensely interested in, make a different move, and the minions come to me and I document and so on we go. Pay attention. That's helicopter. All right, license plate. 8BZA 686. License 78129 C2. 7MLU 299. BJ49 P42. Okay? 9:53 p.m. MCA 036, 8 TLV 959, 7ZPO 63. I can't really see that one. Scratch that. Let's see. License RAWR 91 6SFM 044 8MML 797. And that was the state creating plane activity, like a plane roaring. As you hear me ruffling my stuff and getting my stuff together. So as I'm stationary, the state keeping me surrounded with activity. All right. And then you hear these are the minions that are coming. I'm reading their license plates. It is currently 9:55 p.m. I stand at Transit and Euclid Avenue, proceeding south on Euclid at 9:55 p.m. Helicopter. I am over here nearest Park and Euclid, a group stalker standing in the darkness on my opposite side. The state right in front of me, flying, that is east over the bridge. I took a picture of the bridge on May 1st where I was showing you the Amazon Prime was engaging in going to that link to drive across path on the bridge. The state is flying over that bridge, headed east, and a group stalker is on my opposite side. I'm going to show that right now. Standing in the darkness. That's a stalker, literally. That's stalker conduct. Group stalker conduct is to conduct themselves like they're doing something else, like, you know, like group stalking doesn't exist, in other words. Stalker conduct is group stalker conduct, understand? Just under the guise of that nothing is happening, it's a figment of your imagination. This group stalker is literally standing in the darkness while the helicopter's flying in front of me. That's literally stalker conduct, all right? That's P.O.C. She is not coincidentally in the path while the state is stalking me as I'm walking down the street. Or he or she, by the way. P.O.C. I'm at Park and Euclid. This is a heavyset Latina female. It's currently 10:01 p.m. 3LZZ165. Group stalkers in the middle of the street over here at the opposite end. Understand her communication device, networking with these third parties that are on the street, just patrolling like roaches on the street using their cars as light. Okay? License plate 5JSZ859 6C25724. License plate 8LLV875 8TBA073. License 6PDE266. That's audible activity. 8STA072. 13488Y1. 6ZLW640. Just wanted to read those plates. The ongoing stalking conduct by the state is speaking to the presence of group stalkers all around. The state's directed light everywhere you go. And also the ongoing monitoring conduct. And as you're passing their houses, as you're passing their business, as you're passing their vehicles, they are group stalking and they are monitoring, whether they are home or not. Understand, this is a state system. Let's get this one that happens to be creating light activity. Directed light on the opposite side of the apartment building while they drive up. That's supposed to be the guys under which that light is appearing. That's the state's directed light. 6YGD733. This could be her actual vehicle. This could be an Uber, all right? This could be the state just providing a vehicle that they think is going to be unmarked. Understand, anything that is documented by the target individual, it's going to be attributed to that actor because the entity is monitoring the very documentation. They will be prosecuted, period. So you use an Uber, guess what? Uber is going to be prosecuted as a federal group stalker based on the fact that, number one, they are knowledgeable about the fact that you're monitoring and seeking to actively obstruct justice. But also, that Uber driver is a third party in relevant position as well. There is no evading documentation. Whatever you want to provide, you want to bring some other commercial actor's vehicle when you're not actually Hertz, you're actually Amazon Prime, that vehicle is going to be identified as engaging in that criminal P.O.C., that company, that brand, that actor. All right? It is currently 10:04 p.m. License 5YZL536 7FBB940. Group stalker at ATM Euclid, one food store, beer and wine, located at 603 South Euclid, creating audible activity for purposes of monitoring while they're patrolling. License 7NMJ905. Group stalker at the opposite end of the street, using their vehicle as light. And he's over here in the parking lot with a bucket, making noise. Does so at the same time that I turn on this podcast to record that third party's license plate. Okay? Mere repeating of the conduct that they are listening to me document is audible activity as well. What he did it with simultaneity to what I'm doing on my communication device. License plate 8RIR555. This is the same third-party facilitating venue where the state's fake sun is over, both as I documented early in the morning and late in the afternoon when I'm walking the opposite direction at that. Yes, he's monitoring. It is, let's see, currently 10:06 p.m. And the helicopter is flying in front of me. So as I'm walking now south on Euclid, the helicopter is in front of me. This is flying around in the perimeter and staying in front of me. This is just like I've shown what the planes do. They fly in a line and they keep migrating, staying in relevant position to me as I walk up any direction. This is what the helicopter is doing. It's in front of me and it's flying in a circle, maintaining that presence, while third parties are maintaining presence also. All right, it's P.O.C. It's 10:07 p.m. 4469 YF1, I believe. Can't really see that whole one. I'm at Euclid and Nevada Street. It is 10:07 p.m. now. 7MXX225. Sing, S-I-N-G-H. It's your rule that I have to leave my property at the store, even though nobody else that works here says that. And at first you said it was the rules of the store, right? And now it's your rule, right? Because nobody else says it. You don't want to talk anymore? Hello? You don't want to talk? You were monitoring. You're still monitoring, and helicopters are flying over the store. So, listen.
Yeah.
He's on the phone. Who are you calling?
My boss.
You calling the Ghostbusters?
You go outside.
Why?
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 I told you go outside.
Why?
In private property.
Why
not
are you
your
yelling?
Property. This one private property, not your property.
Nobody said it is. I
This
asked
one
you, where are you
private
coming
property.
up with the rule while you're
This
targeting
one
me at helicopters are flying over the store?
property.
So where are
Every
you
time
coming
you
up with
fight
that
with-
rule?
every
Where are
time
you
you
coming up with the
fight
rule?
with me.
Where are you
Last time
coming
you-
up with the rule?
Go in outside.
Where are you coming up with the
Go
rule?
outside.
Where are you coming up with the rule? No other employees say that but
man,
you.
don't-
Who are you barking at? Ain't
What
nobody
are-
scared of you, third party. Ain't nobody scared of you.
Get out.
You're going to be deported
Get
out of
out.
this country.
Get
That's
out.
what's going to happen.
Get
You're going to
out.
lose this little private
Get
property.
out.
Are you barking at me? Is that what that was supposed to be?
Every day work
Was that a
here.
bark?
Every day work here.
Was that a bark, Sing?
Every day.
S-I-N-G-H? What?
Yes. My name is Singh.
Okay, what were you calling for? Hold on, we have an issue here. Go ahead.
Go outside.
Why?
Don't tell me.
Why?
Go outside.
Why? Why?
Side.
Why?
Side, please.
Answer
I
the
have
question.
customer.
I'm talking
Side.
to you.
I not all.
No, you are talking because you're
No
barking
talk
and
with
stuff.
me.
So what is
What
your
do you
issue?
need? Margot?
This is Singh telling me, making up
I have
rules.
customer. Why
And
you
I am a
disturb my
customer as well, and you're yelling.
Why you disturb
I'm
my
a customer
customer
as well, and you're being
Why you
disrespectful.
disturb my customer?
And you can't answer a question because you're making up
Margot, right?
rules. Because you're making up rules. While the helicopter's flying over, they're all monitoring to this. All right? Go ahead, Singh. What's your rule again? You hear him barking?
Yes. 10:55.
You don't get to make up rules to target someone while you're monitoring them, and then you can't even cite your rule. What other employee states this? None of them do. This is criminal facilitation as well. So repeating the criminal conduct doesn't make it legitimate. Want to be clear on that as well. Anything else, Singh? Huh?
12 pack? Yeah. But why here?
There's no more there.
It is currently 10:13 p.m. and helicopters are flying over the 7-Eleven parking lot. He's ordering the customers to stay up here around me in relevant position. And this entire argument is audible activity. As I stated, as I'm walking toward the store, the helicopter is flying over and the state is stalking by planes. Light activity, the license plate that I read as I'm walking into the store, his telling me to leave my bag in the front is none other than audible activity, and it is also targeting conduct. As I'm asking him, what rule is this where I have to leave my bag in order to make a purchase? And so then he engages in barking like that's going to stop me from asking a question that he doesn't want to answer. Singh is likely not an American citizen. He is worthy of being deported, documented engaging in this criminal harassment on more than one occasion, while, mind you, the state was group stalking by planes and helicopters, monitoring me to this harassing audible activity. Facing his communication device on me, ongoing documentation. He's on his own cameras. This is documentation against you. I don't know who you, what, it's 10:14 p.m. So what are you documenting? Because I know what I'm documenting. What are you documenting? I'm documenting you standing in relevant position, engaging criminal harassment while you're monitoring. What are you documenting? Huh?
Malboro.
Huh?
Red shirt.
Small.
10:15 p.m. Anything else? Huh?
Disturb my customer. I told you go outside.
You told me I go
Disturb my
outside?
customer.
No, I'm not. I'm talking to you.
He disturbed you?
You can't speak for them. You can barely speak English.
Go outside.
Focus over here.
Go
You
outside.
go outside.
Are you go?
You go outside.
Why?
Exactly.
Your father property.
Why?
Your father property.
I asked you a question. You
Your
don't
father
get to
property
target.
is
You don't get to
private
target
property.
people. You don't get to
Not
target people.
government property.
You don't get to target people. That's what you don't get to do. This is America. I don't know where you're from.
This is America.
This is America.
Yeah.
I see you wearing a flag, but you don't represent that, bruh. Not at all. You don't get to target, so I'm asking you a simple question which you don't want to answer. Why don't you want to answer it? Huh? Why don't you want to answer it? Hello? Is that hard? Is that hard? That's plane activity. That's the state flying directly over the storefront. 4ZEF457 monitoring to that plane activity sitting in the parking lot while he's in here harassing me. Anything else? It is 10:16 p.m. Now, I'm going to ask you again, why do I have to leave my bag in the front? Hello? Hello? Sing? Do you know why I have to leave my bag in the front? Hello? You know he could easily answer the question, doesn't want to do that. Think quick. Hello. It is 10:17 p.m. He's just loitering in relevant position with his communication device, not looking at me and not responding to my question about why he wants me to separate from my property. Other than the fact because he said so. And again, the context is shopped in here on more than one occasion. He's the only one that wants to make me leave my bags. And the relevant context is that he's monitoring. That's the relevant context. Hello, Singh? We've already heard you barking and yelling. Do you want to answer the question now? Hello? You've already created audible activity. You're already monitoring. And you're in relevant position. You can be silent in relevant position. You're still monitoring. Hello? Okay, so can I go make my purchase then? No? So are you going to tell me? What are you holding your phone up for? What is that? He's holding his phone up. What are you showing me on your phone? Hello? It is currently 10:18 p.m. Go ahead. Hello, Singh? That's all audible activity. Light activity on the scanner. Operation of his communication device. Can they understand what you're saying? Oh, he said customer disturbed. He's making payments and dealing with his customers. He's not answering my question. Making up allegations while he's monitoring. This is P.O.C. Planes flying over this parking lot. Criminal summoning of the state, by the way. The Ontario police are already in relevant position. Tell the police about the question you don't want to answer. How about that? Go ahead. This is ongoing operation of communication device. This is all audible activity. And a threat. While you're monitoring. Singh. Singh's going to be deported. 951-390. What? That's his phone number. This is the 7-Eleven where the state's fake sun remains over, where I documented the state flying over me at the storefront while I'm at the doors. And as I open the door right now, that was audible activity, the state flying over the parking lot. This is P.O.C. It is 10:20 p.m.
My boss come here.
Okay, what are you showing me your phone? Were you calling the police thing?
My boss.
You called your boss?
7-Eleven owner.
Okay, tell your boss to answer the question. I don't care. Because your boss is not telling everybody else, because you're the only ones telling me to leave my property. You made a situation when all you had to do was let me make a purchase. You don't have a right to target when you're monitoring, homie. That's what you're going to learn in the United States. That's what you're going to learn. That's what you're going to learn. Why you want to monitor me to that audible activity. I'm going to prosecute you by that audible activity. Because what you were really doing was implying a threat that you're calling the police. That's what you were really trying to do. Now saying you're calling your boss. You can call the Ontario police. You can call whoever you want. You call whoever you want. It's 10:21 p.m. And these are the type of third parties that I'm going to drag. It is the principle of the matter. You don't get to target and harass while you're monitoring on top of that. No. I don't think so. I don't think so. And that's exactly what's occurring. It is occurring under a factual context. And then after you document it, they just repeat it as though, and understand what that conduct is. Repeating that conduct is to suggest in the criminal's mind that I'm obviously not doing something wrong. If I was doing something wrong, then I wouldn't have done it again, okay? Or if I was doing something wrong, or if I was scared that I was going to be caught, then I wouldn't have done it again. This is the rationale of the criminal that's monitoring as well, okay? That's the rationale. They can rationalize it however they want. They are one actor, the people of the state, some of whom are not American citizens, and they will be deported because he is monitoring. And separating me from my property is also a threat for purposes of P.O.C. as well. And it's all audible activity while he's in relevant position. Oh, and I also want to be clear, this same employee, not only do the other employees not cite this rule that he doesn't want to tell me about, doesn't want to speak on, when I asked him about it, where's this rule at? What's this rule about? But he began citing this after I specifically documented his store. Okay, so after I document his store, then he engages in, leave your stuff at the front. Okay? And this is P.O.C. by third parties that are aware that they're being documented, and this is a means of engaging in harassment in any way that they have at their disposal. Okay? And that's why I'm going to this extent, because this is not tedious, this is not minor, this is P.O.C. and this is dealing with third parties and the criminal conduct that they engage in with the government. And Satan does not get to bully in any way whatsoever. I'm going to drag for every criminal tactic that they're engaged in. I'm going to drag them. And this is on behalf of the targeted individual, the ordinary targeted individual, abused at every turn and has no idea what to do about it and is disbelieved, defamed, okay, kidnapped even. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. So give me your rationale, threaten, do whatever you're going to do. I'm going to document it and I'm going to prosecute you. So he's just loitering in relevant position. Patrons are in the parking lot creating light activity. As you heard, the state is stalking over this store. All right, follow me as I'm walking south on Euclid. And it is 10:24 p.m. This is 7-Eleven. The same one that I was at on May 1st, 2021. The state's fake son was over that venue. All right. By the way, over this venue at the same time that I was over at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts and B&G Plaza. Did you call your boss? Did they say something?
You ready?
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
You're right.
Okay. Did you call your boss thing?
360. You are ready?
That's audible activity, light activity in the parking lot, customers in relevant position, he's in relevant position, this is P.O.C.
This side
Go ahead. Cat hair all over you. Are you, oh, whatever, that's not cute. Did you call your boss? Are you going to answer that? Is there a reason why you're ignoring? You're still creating audible activity. I could have been gone. You're bringing this on yourself. And I'm not creating a disturbance because you don't want to answer a simple question because you want to make up rules, homeboy. Enjoy your chelada. Did you call your boss? Your boss being the Ontario police, right? Because you're monitoring with them. Huh? Huh? No? He said he called his boss and he doesn't want to say nothing. Did you call your boss? So we're gonna conclude with that. You're just making up rules and I'm calling you on your bull and now you want to shut up? Is that what it is? Huh? All right, so let me get these license plates. Those creating light activity, the one with the dog hair on her. She's monitoring with him inside of the store. She's aiming her headlights while she's in the parking lot. I understand this is all facilitating conduct. 5RXT134, 88KN707. She's in a Rubicon, opens and closes her door again just to be sure, create more audible activity. Her and her double chins taking another drink of her chelada. It is 10:27 p.m. She's driving a Jeep Rubicon. That's going to be on the surveillance cameras as well. Hopefully that's your license plate saying that I just recited. Let's see. 7VZN053. You can thank Sing for that. I could have been gone. Could have been gone, Sing. Did you call your boss, Sing? I'm just gonna ask you one more time. Hello. Are you? Oh, you're still on the phone with him? Sorry. Go ahead. Boy, you're making this really weird. Do you just want to answer the question? No response. Okay. It's 10:27 p.m. Says he's calling his boss. Doesn't want to respond to what his boss says. Why are you calling your boss? I don't know, but you are an operational communication device. I know that. Anything else? About the subject that you brought up as I walked in the store to make a purchase. Separate from my property. Why? Where? Huh? What's your boss say? That should be an easy yes or no. Hello? Hello? Did they advise you to be quiet? Oh, go ahead. This is all audible activity. He's just patrolling back and forth behind the register. That's plain activity outside. It's 10:29 p.m. and Singh doesn't want to answer this question. Do you want to ask Singh a question?
Yeah, no,
Maybe he'll respond to you.
no, thank you so much.
Okay, maybe he'll respond to you.
This is my boyfriend.
Oh, okay. I don't think he paid for that coffee. But they are third parties. Go ahead.
Thank you.
10:29 p.m.
Straight back.
Yeah.
965.
Singh, did you talk to your boss yet? Huh? Did you talk to your boss yet about your rule? Or your boss's rule, rather? You cited your boss then after yourself. Did you talk to your boss yet? Hello? Did you talk to your boss yet? No? No, didn't. No, didn't talk to your boss about a rule. You're citing your boss though, right? About separating me from my property while you're monitoring me? Huh? You didn't talk to your boss about that? You were on your phone talking to somebody? Holding it up like I'm supposed to be scared? Hello? Are you waiting for someone? Is your boss gonna come? You don't have nothing to say? Your boss didn't tell you anything? Huh? Okay. Excuse me. 6TRA845, and I want to be clear, 5RXT134 is very likely Mr. Singh's license plate. Very likely not an American citizen either. Thank you for this documentation, Singh, and worthy of being deported, okay? Starting the ignition in 6TRA845 as I open the door, okay? That's creation of audible activity and light activity as they turn on the reverse. They're just sitting in the parking lot waiting. And understand the third parties on the surveillance cameras monitoring as he's scanning items as they're walking in. You're hearing the beep. This is all audible activity, okay? Group stalker in that license plate. He's the one that's completing the purchase, buying the top ramen noodles with the curly top, monitoring, okay? They all are. I'm just describing what you will see on the surveillance cameras. And this is federal level harassment and targeting while you're monitoring. And this is one who is not an American citizen worthy of being deported. This is an issue that I stress because of the fact that he is a third party monitoring. The state is patrolling over this parking lot in airplanes and stalking in helicopter, as I cited as I'm approaching the property. And they engage in this manner of harassment, okay? Using it in any way that they have at their disposal. And as I stated, this 7-Eleven in particular at 731 South Euclid Avenue engages in this sort of, this same actor, specific actor, engages in this manner of harassment after I specifically documented him, and this was September 2020, after the state flew over my head standing at the storefront. As I specifically documented that, he began to say, oh, you need to leave your bags in the front of the store. And so I began to ask him why, what rule is this? You're the only employee. And guess what? Third parties will engage in doing the same to repeat, to substantiate what is third party conduct. Okay. Third parties have no credibility. This is speaking to what is documentation of criminal harassment and targeting while you're monitoring. Those firecracker sounds, that's nothing but the state creating audible activity as I'm walking down the street. All right. The state is present flying over that venue, and that is what governs. He is monitoring, and everything he's saying is audible activity, and it is a means of targeting. And enable, by the way, let's just go. I will go into the details. Not only is it all audible activity, he wants to cite his boss, stating as though he's calling his boss, when at first he was actually acting like he was calling the police, which was supposed to frighten me, which is P.O.C. by third parties, by the way. That's P.O.C. And then he's silent and doesn't want to say anything about his boss. If you called your boss, tell your boss you're talking about a rule your boss made up. What'd your boss say? 8 U.O.C. 494. And that's a very simple, easy situation to remedy. All right, your boss will say, okay, we'll either confirm or deny, whatever a third party wants to say. It's going down on the record as a method of targeting. The state is flying over your parking lot in a plane and helicopter. You're monitoring, period. Please, everything that is occurring pursuant to the target individual is a means of not only P.O.C. for monitoring with communication devices, but the ways in which these demons can seek to harass in any way that they have at their disposal. It is demonic activity. All right, so I'm calling a demon on the carpet. All right, and he shuts up. Audible activity continues, though, and these minions are patrolling while I'm inside of the store. License 7VWY, 342. All right, P.O.C. continuous while I'm inside of the store. He doesn't have to say a word. He's still in relevant position. All right. This informs you about how you prosecute. And also, the minions outside are still patrolling on Euclid Avenue. 7VSP 423. Just like as I open the door and you hear the state flying over by planes. P.O.C. is ongoing. P.O.C. is ongoing, and that's what's going against him. He can say whatever he wants. But what he's saying, I'm also going to prosecute him for that. And yes, that is conduct absolutely unworthy, quintessential of the type of demonstration of unworthiness to remain in this country, monitoring an American citizen. All right, wearing a flag around his neck, engaging in the most un-American conduct that you can possibly engage in, remaining in this country. 5SSV030. State stalking as I'm walking down the street, remaining over me and flying. All right, sounding off, popping firecrackers. Okay, that's audible activity. So I'm going to drag him for that. And that's not the first time I documented him. Reference my documentation, the video documentation that's already published on YouTube. And this was September of 2020, where, mind you, the state's fake moon remained over my head. as I went from the Ontario Museum back to Economy Inn. I have already thoroughly documented this. And while I'm at this venue as well, the state flying over the storefront, meaning flying from the east to the west over literally the sidewalk of the storefront while I'm standing there. That's what I captured. All right. And tonight, state flying over the parking lot. Right over the parking lot, low elevation, while the group stalkers are surrounding and while he wants to separate me from my property, which is a means of harassment. All right? It's P.O.C. It is currently 10:36 p.m. Third parties in relevant position while the state is following me, flying in a helicopter. Third parties are walking past me on the sidewalk. Third parties are in the parking lot in relevant position. License 8VKS042. 4PHR 582. It is 1046, by the way. License plate 8TDP 968 83935T1. I'm at Sammy's 2. This is on Euclid Avenue. I proceeded to walk straight on the same street from 7-Eleven on south on Euclid Avenue, and this is a liquor store. It's called Sammy's 2, and the state is flying over audibly by helicopter, literally following me down the street. I mean, this entity is just a genius. I'm gonna document third parties that continue to group stalk on its behalf. That is why you're stalking with a helicopter. License 6D73450. It's 1046. The state steady in tow, group stalking in planes and helicopters. Excuse me. Group stalking in planes and helicopters as I proceed to walk south on Euclid Avenue. I'm at currently Bud Street and Euclid Avenue. P.O.C. 7YUE 515. Again, that's license plate 7YUE 515. Monitoring me to that activity. It's 10:48 p.m. It is 10:51 p.m. Let's see. License 8JIJ 834. Let's see, 7476704. 7Y76704. Thank you. 7L23977. All right, and this is the private residence. Located at, let's see, what we got here. Going into, let's see, I'm trying to look for a house number. 1603 Euclid Avenue. All right, P.O.C. It is 10:52 p.m. All right, group stalking and monitoring at Tijuana's Tacos. The phone number on the outside of that building is 909-984-5717, just as a means of identifying them. They're on Euclid Avenue, 1702 Euclid Avenue. Monitoring. This is a vehicle left in relevant position on the street in front of 1661, the Ontario Health Center. License 6UKG717. As a means of light activity while the state is also directing light. And again, there is no situation where light is touching you while cars are driving by and you're walking on the sidewalk. 14582F2. 6770T2. I can't really see that one, but this one, 8FRY176. Group stalking sitting in her car while the state is directing light. Group stalkers are monitoring across the street also in Tijuana's Tacos. It's 10:55 p.m. That's the state that's following as I walk down the street to Economy Inn. All right, Euclid Avenue, These private homes, they're monitoring inside of their homes, just like this one's sitting outside in her car, monitoring sitting in their cars, monitoring sitting in their homes, monitoring sitting outside of any private business, or inside of a private business, for example. That's why the state is stalking by planes and flying over and following me as I go, because this is a fishbowl. All right, let's get these minions. It's 10:56 p.m. 8 TYK 457, 6 HTM 685, 8 KYH 823. Um, 5 LDJ 559. Light appearing on the trees above that vehicle as he's driving by. That's the state directing light. I mean, just literally ridiculous. 8J. I'm sorry, I can't see that one. That's the demonic aspect. This is absolutely demonic, all right? They are weirdos, psychopaths, monitoring with the state. Absolute weirdos and sex offenders. Egregious, violent sex offenders. It's 10:57 p.m. All right. Mustang, license 8SGH 528. All right, they're just sitting in relevant position at the traffic lights. This is Euclid Avenue and what is this? Francis. 8EXM 990. 7WJU 788, 7YIS 224 or 214. Can't really see that one that clearly. 8VDK 985. 10:58 p.m. Let's see. 6WJXJ297. 6WXJ297. 7EQX404. And this is 5CGZ621.